fries taste good. Okay. Nope. That's weird. Hello, hello. Oh, it's right there. Oh shit. Okay. Well, that's good. That's how it's supposed to be. Mm, obviously. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I just want to change one last thing before well, I edit it over here and I just change it later on. Where are we? Are we over here? Cool.
Hello, chat. Hello, Stardust. Hello, True Witty. Hello, Bob. Umar, hey. Hello, Brian.
And then we got this. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. Adam's gonna be in later. Was supposed to read something, but I ended up working out, and then I literally, and I knew it was gonna happen. I literally passed out. So I worked out after last night's podcast, and I haven't worked out like that in a while. And then I guess I just didn't have the energy, and I couldn't fucking stay up. I kept waking up, but then falling right back to sleep. I couldn't even turn off the lights. I wanted to watch this show on Netflix called Lock and Key. I didn't even get to order any food or eat any dinner. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, I worked out, and I don't think it was that big of a workout. It's just I haven't done it in a while. You know, I've been playing basketball. I've been doing, different types of weightlifting, boxing, but in a short burst, that much crap that I did, and then being up all day, that's probably what did it. But yeah, I'm taking a break today. But I try to watch Lock and Key or start on Lock and Key today, or I just have to download it and watch it.
What up, everybody? What up? What up?
What's going on, Eddie?
Hello.
What up? Jay, tell you hear about they might donate the PlayStation 5?
We talking about everything you know. We're talking about everything. I wrote down all notes for this week.
Piss me off.
So everything that you know, we know. We're gonna talk about it. I just want to finalize one more thing. To get the topics right for what we're gonna talk about. Okay. Let me make sure everything is good. Nope, we're not gonna copy that one. We don't need that. So let's see how it'll look. Yeah, so we gotta put this right there. Just wanna see if this will work real quick, guys. Just give me a little bit of time. This will be, no, not this. Nope, not this. Nope, that's not it. What's going on, President PlayStation? You donated $5 at the super chat, and I can't see the fucking message.
It says, I finally get to watch live in its entirety. What up, Jay and everybody?
What's going on,
Thank
man?
you, President PlayStation.
Okay, we got the super chat full on a full screen. I don't know why. Hold on. Super chat is not supposed to be full. It's supposed to be reset. Yeah, super chat is supposed to look like that. Okay, there we go. Hold on, guys. I just resized it. So we get another super chat. It'll be in the middle, not wide. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can change this one to what I just made in alerts. If this works, let me see. Yup. Okay, so because this works, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go copy what the title is for this podcast, and then we're gonna get that shit out the way. So I do want to start out with Phil. Obviously, that's our first main topic. Um, but I want to make sure I get the podcast out. So I'm gonna do my part. If you guys don't mind doing your part, retweet the podcast, share that
Gotcha.
shit. You know, help me out with this. I
Yo,
want as many people to watch as possible, or to at least listen as possible, because a lot of this information you're not gonna hear from other podcasts broken down the way that we're gonna break it down. Um, it's not about anything with the console war, about Phil Spencer's statement. Just before I even dive into it, it has nothing to do with it. So if you're thinking that what Phil Spencer said recently has anything to do with the console war, this has been something that Adam has been thinking about, and I have thought about for a good amount of years now. That if it wasn't manifested with words or in an interview, that's the way we got it. It was going to happen. This it is actually happening, where they're basically turning everything into Microsoft. It's Microsoft Game Studio. It's not Xbox Game Studio. And even if they put Xbox in front of it, they're doing that to make you guys happy. Behind the scenes, they're gearing up to get the fuck out of the console race. Okay? Again, everybody's at
yeah,
fault over there. When a game comes out like Sunset Overdrive, prime example. Okay, the game might have not been 1080p, right? It might not have been the best game ever, but it was up to you as the gamers to buy that game. You paid
yeah,
for the system 3 different times. You paid for the $500 Xbox One when it first came out. You paid for the Xbox One S because of the 4K Blu-ray player. Then you turned around and paid for $500 for the Xbox One X, which was the most powerful console on the market at the time. So if you could pay for 3 different consoles by one manufacturer, by one company, in one generation, why couldn't you pay for a $60 game? It didn't matter if it had any bad press or not a good Metacritic score or it didn't have realistic graphics. It was your game. And it was your game for many, many years until last year when it went to the PC. And of course, we hearing anything about the PC version? No. It didn't chart. No one cares. I tell people this all the time. With the few games that are going to PC, whether it's from Switch or a huge amount that from PlayStation are going to PC, just because people beg for something doesn't mean they really need it and doesn't mean they really want it. People want, homeless people, they want money. They're telling you they're going to use that money for food. Sometimes they do not use that money for food. Sometimes they use that money for other things. So that's why some people, if they're smart enough, they don't give homeless people money. Myself and a friend of mine that had passed away a couple years ago, we took a homeless person. He took one, and I did another one. We took him into the McDonald's that they used to sit outside, and now they banned that. Took him inside the McDonald's, asked them what they wanted to eat. I remember one of them, not the one that I got a full meal for. One of them was so picky. I was like, bro, I'm broke too. I'm gonna get you a McChicken, and that's pretty much it. I don't got it like that. I'm trying to help you out. This dude sucked his teeth and walked out. Sat back down where he was sitting at and started begging for money again or begging for food again.
You want to know why?
Oh shit. Well, yeah. Tell me why,
Two reasons. You have an echo in here.
Eddie.
Okay. And the second reason is most likely the guy that probably sucked his teeth and just walked off because he was an Xbox.
Oh God. Fucking Yellow. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. We about to
hello,
dive
Yellow.
into this.
What's up, Snowman?
Yeah, I wanted to say what's up to y'all. What's good, y'all? What's good, JayTech?
What's going on,
Eddie?
man?
Big Money, Small Money.
Hello.
Yo.
I've been out for a great. Yeah, I just started up school again and shit, so my ass has been busy.
I figured that. I was wondering where you've been because I know you joined a while ago, and I was like, okay, man, I want to know where you at.
No. I was coming back, bro. It's just like I just started all my classes and shit, so I had to get like shit situated. But nah, I'm looking forward to the conversations today, though.
Oh,
There's a lot of
definitely.
topics.
We got a good amount of people here. Obviously, the person that talks to so many walls, Adams, Tiny Mouth, is not here right now. But when he comes in, he's gonna break the shit down. He gave us shit to read, but I don't think anybody read the article we were supposed to read.
Of course they didn't.
Yeah.
Why would they?
But
Why would they?
I was supposed to, and then I worked out, and then I passed out. So hey, that's my excuse.
Yeah, well, actually, looking on your history, you passed out watching Crap Gamer reviews. So,
I did. It put me to sleep. Let's start this up. I definitely want to hear from Yellow first, cause Yellow has experience with Xbox. Okay,
talk to me.
we're talking about Phil Spencer saying that PlayStation and Nintendo are not Xbox's real competition. I want to hear from you.
All right, so I would say when it comes to that topic of conversation, I mean that's the passive way to say we can't hang with you. They're pretty much going after a market that's not even going to be established or well established for probably another 10 years due to the fact of our ISPs and our internet. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with streaming services with PlayStation Now and Xbox Game Pass. I just feel as though that they're way ahead of the schedule. They have their market in the wrong place at the wrong time. And like I just chimed in. If you started your podcast, I mean, they're dwindling away from the Xbox. If you can't see it, quit being naive. Quit being in and out. Xbox is pretty much going play anywhere / PC. It doesn't matter if you're on a phone. Doesn't matter if you're on an Xbox. Doesn't matter if you're on a PC. It doesn't matter if you're on a Switch. They're trying to tap into the market of as many gamers as possible. But if you use enough common sense, what sells the platform? If you have enough common sense, it's the fucking IPs. It's the games. Yep. So for you to sit there and say that you have the most powerful console, granted you did, and you still do to this point, okay, until next gen is released because we don't know the specs yet. Put the fanboyism aside. It is what it is. Microsoft has never been in the same category as PlayStation. The 360 came out swinging hard with their online networks and with the games and the console being cheaper. Again, I was part of that era, but I also still kept the PS3 on deck for those exclusives. It wasn't until towards the end of last gen where I clearly saw the path where Microsoft was going, where more time was being invested in Kinect games than Gears of War Judgment. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, at the end of the day, I'm a gamer. If Microsoft, which I highly doubt, but fingers crossed, if Microsoft comes out and proves to me what the incentive is of buying an Xbox, I will get one. I have family members and I have close friends that still play on Xbox. But at the end of the day, like I tell them, because I'll still have my Xbox account and I'll be on my phone. I'll jump in a party while I'm playing my game. Oh, what you over there playing, yo? I'm playing the same thing that you playing and some. You know what I'm saying? So, Microsoft, as of right now, Phil Spencer doesn't have the answers. I don't care what type of fan you are. I mean, at the end of the day, man, he's not providing content for you as a consumer. What happened to Sunset Overdrive? What happened to Alan Wake? Whatever happened to Blue Dragon? Whatever happened to Lost Odyssey? I mean, the list goes on and on, bro. Xbox had good games, but the person that's in a position of power, he's not really making the right decisions for the consumer.
There you go.
But yeah, all these people always want to say that they're pro-consumer of everything, but they don't deliver us games.
I mean, they've been going this route since 2013. I saw this route for them in 2013. Everybody else thought I was crazy when I was saying they're trying to turn the Xbox gaming community into a PC gaming community.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw it on writing on the wall in 2013. But like I said, it for me, this is a null and void topic because, like I said, I've been saying it for the last 7 years, but nobody else wanted to see it.
I mean, at the end of the day, Snow Bunny, you know what you tell him? That's a you problem.
I don't even say anything because I just look at them like, y'all didn't
the
see this
idiot.
happening. I mean, like when I first started podcasting last year, I used to say a lot of weird. I used to say things, and people were like, "Oh no, it's not like that. It's not like that." And then all the shits come to pass, and they're sitting here now, like, you know what? I'm gonna just wait and see, because they were saying I was doom and gloom and this, that, and yeah. I'm not doom and gloom. You just gotta realize that these companies want money. They don't give two shits about us. They want the money.
Well, hold on. You can't say that because, again, even your platform, yes, they want the money, but they do give a shit about you. That's why you get good quality games.
But what I'm saying is we have good quality games, but they make it so that they can get the money. It all boils down to
That's with anything in life. Yeah, that's with anything in life. But I would say your choice of platform and my choice of platform, they actually been listening to the fans. You feel
Yeah.
when it comes to Microsoft, I mean they praise the quality or the quantity of controllers more than they do the quantity of fucking IPs, which baffles me. You know what I'm saying? Play
Well,
Gears
that
5.
right there, I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but that right there should have been a warning sign to most people.
Oh, yeah,
Why
most
are you,
people.
why are you releasing all these controllers? And mind you, they're making computers and things now where you have Bluetooth connectability. That should have been a warning sign right there. If they're releasing more controllers than games, that should have told you they're moving into a different direction than you think they are.
Well, they're telling you that with cross compatibility too. Okay, and this is coming from experience with Gears 5. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got a 0 millisecond input lag monitor, right? If you are playing somebody with mouse and keyboard, that ass is getting clapped.
True.
Point blank period. So I understand the correlation, but allow me as the consumer to filter through that. With Gears, you can partially only ranked matches, not unranked, which is not fair because, again, my experience of going into a game is, of course, you can't win them all. You feel what I'm saying? But when you're clearly seeing somebody fucking use mouse and keyboard, the hand-eye coordination will never compare to a fucking mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. And now I've heard that mouse and keyboard can figure out a way around that so they can get into matches where controllers are.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too.
That's why they never cross play Apex with PC and Xbox and PlayStation yet.
That's crazy.
I mean, there's plenty of games out there doing it. PUBG does it. Trying to think what else.
Cause they cheat on mobs. They got the mobs on their PCs, so they could ban. Cause I play Apex a lot, and I be seeing like one dude say I was playing with a PC. He got his own PC first, so he's saying, I would never play with a PC player, never again. He said, cause they got mobs. They be cheating on their PCs.
They're
They
God.
can cheat.
To us, they're a god. You know.
Well, you also have to realize most PC gamers who game are gaming with a wired mouse and keyboard, so they don't have input lag. The moment you go wireless, you have input lag even with a mouse and keyboard.
Talk that shit, Snowbunny. Let them know. And that's the same thing with, for instance, not trying to say that, I'm just blessed to be in a position to be able to get the things that I have for my hobby of gaming. But I have the Astro C40 controller, okay? It was $200, and pretty much it has, removable modules. The controller's pretty nice. I mean, the build is, yeah, PlayStation and PC. This controller's fucking sick. It's insane. But at the same time, like you said, it has a Bluetooth dongle and it has a wired mode. When I play competitively, I have my shit in wire mode. You see what I'm saying? Because you are speaking facts. If you are wireless, even with the PlayStation 4 controller, if you have it wired, you are going to have a faster input reaction and wired when it's plugged to your PlayStation than it is going to be either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Correlation with your internet. So.
They good, Renato? The control's good?
Yeah. For me, it is. I mean, what I eat, you don't shit. You feel what I'm saying? So correlation to that is, what I prefer, you might not prefer.
No, I thought about getting one.
Yeah, I would say your best bet is to go to Best Buy. I have a buddy of mine. I talked to him last night. He said he was debating to get one. I told him, shit, get one. I mean, if you have the money, and you're able to pull the trigger on it and give it a shot. Give it a shot, because if not, you can take it back. But me, from having big hands, I prefer because again, like I said, like JayTech said, I'm an Xbox user. I prefer PlayStation. PlayStation is home for me because before Xbox, it was PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And the catalog is legendary. But beyond that, when it comes to shooters with my hand size, I prefer to have more of an Xbox 360 / Xbox One controller style. So it's all about personal preference at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, we will go around. Thanks, Yellow Bro. That's why I'm glad you were able to show up today, because you speak that facts. You've been gaming for longer a little bit longer than me. About what, 4 years, 5 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Something like that. 5 months. Only been gaming 5 months, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm an infant compared to y'all, no bull.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. I mean, look, when we started gaming, we just not skilled, bro. We just picked up a controller, bro. I mean, I think the first time, I always say 97 because that's when I had a game system in my house I had access to.
Jay, not to cut you off. Hold on, let me say something to the chat. Heath, you're definitely right. PlayStation has a lot of variants of the Elite controllers. Nikon, that's an imported controller. Astro, which I prefer. Razer, I've tried on the Xbox. Not bad. The Scuff, I stay away. I had the Vantage when it first came out. No, sir. That thing was, I think that was $200. It was more than an Elite controller, and the quality was trash. I had too many problems with it. I took it back within hours and got my money back. So,
yeah, I usually use Razer gaming mice, but lately the one I prefer, it for the price that it costs is super fragile, and I've been going through them too quickly. So I have to look for me a new gaming mouse.
You got to find some with that build quality.
The Razors? I done dropped the Razor. My Razor, I dropped the shit a lot, and it hasn't broken.
I've had the Razer Naga. I replaced 2 of them.
I got the Mamba.
I got the Naga. The Naga has more buttons and stuff it's a little more fragile. Like the Naga has like 12 buttons or 15 buttons or something.
Sam told me on Snapchat that I do have an echo, but I'm not really sure who is giving me the echo.
Well, I'll mute myself and you can test it after that.
I don't think it's you. You never give an echo.
Is it me?
Yeah, it's not me because I have myself muted. I mute myself.
It might be you, Eddie. Like, you got it. Like, y'all, if you guys can, invest in a $20 headset, you can do that, man. Like, I think my Turtle Beach that I had was like 30, but
y'all can. I got an echo now.
If the chat can help us out, if you hear an echo, just let us know. Don't play around with that, but yeah, I can't really hear it. I'm just hearing one volume. Okay. Sam's not here. Adam's not here, but we'll get their feedback. But as far as me, I'm not a fanboy about this. I'm a gamer. The way I'm looking at it is, they had a fucking Boca Loca's here. This is what I don't understand. You get in a fight with an Xbox fan, they bring up Microsoft, right? When you bring up Microsoft taking over the Xbox division, they want to bring out the Xbox and what it's done good, which is nothing. Bringing out a more powerful system 2 years at the end of the generation, that is not a success story. That is not. Okay? It didn't do anything. Okay? So, I don't care about the power of that system. The power of the system wasn't going to matter. Like, I mean, look at the PS2. It wasn't more powerful than the Xbox, or I think the GameCube might have been a little bit more powerful also. But it had the games. The games can change the tide of the whole console war. Look at what happened with the PS3. Like, you need games. Phil Spencer saying that statement basically just says, we're never going to be able to compete with these two companies when it comes to creating the software that gamers want.
And like I said, bro, that's the passive way of saying it. I can't hang with you.
Exactly. It's true though.
But my thing is, Jay, they could if they had that same passion. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what it boils down to, because yeah, you have the passion to make the money, but also, of course, because it's a fucking business, right? But at the same time, that same passion that you have to make money in this industry, you should have the passion to make fucking storytelling games. You should invest your money into studios way before you invest into Ninja. You should have invested money in your studios before you invested into an Xbox One X.
Exactly. I can't
You have a
understand how
never-ending well.
Xbox fans. This is really how it went. I'm yellow. They celebrated the idea, but then they turned around and the same fucking day and did not understand what Ninja was gonna bring.
Yeah.
And then Ninja did not bring anything yet. We haven't gotten to E3 2020 where he obviously is gonna be on a stage. You know, he might show off Halo. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, the people that worship Ninja or are fans of him or watch him, they know him as the Fortnite guy. Okay? They don't know this guy as a Halo veteran. They don't know that part of Ninja, and they never will. Even if Ninja goes back and does a fucking behind the scenes story of when he got into gaming, they don't care. He's Fortnite guy. That's what he is.
So they brought him to Xbox to what? Just bring the rest of the white people they couldn't like seduce?
Yes.
Yeah.
They thought that
Yeah.
if they brought him over to Mixer, the Twitch people, the Twitch community would go over to Mixer. One thing I don't like about Mixer, most of the motherfuckers I got paid just to watch. And I don't watch anybody on Mixer, but when he came over and I tried to watch his content that one day, they said I had to pay. I'm not a big fan of that.
They bought somebody else, I think Shroud.
Yeah,
they bought Shroud,
They
Ewok.
got a
They
good
got a
amount of
couple.
people. They're trying to keep that
Ewok.
shit on life support,
Ewok.
but I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening.
Facts. I said that the other day, JTech. They literally own, I think, like 5% of the entire streaming market, and then they got Ninja and Shroud and a few other people, and it went up by like 2%. And
Yeah.
right now, I believe they're anywhere between 7 or 8% of the entire streaming market. Facebook Gaming is beating them.
How much money did they pay him again?
It was 30 million. Wait a. Was it 30 million? Yeah, it was
Thought it was
30.
more.
It was anywhere between 25 to 30 million.
Yeah, and it was like contracted and shit.
Yeah,
He gets
and,
paid
and
like
from what we understood, what we know is
Mm.
Hellblade 1 took about 10 million to make. So yes, they
Well,
could have made a game with
Let
that
me
money.
ask you this though, and the reason I'm asking is because, of course, Jay, you already know my occupation, what we do. I've seen Ninja merchandise.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so did that come with the Microsoft contract? You think,
Maybe.
or did that was that already established with Twitch?
His merchandise, I think it was already established.
Okay.
But his name, his presence, is what they really paid for.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, we're Microsoft, we have Ninja. Hey, we're Xbox, we have Ninja.
Thing is, he came up playing Halo and nobody gave a fuck about him. And now he's
Yep.
Microsoft's
Exactly.
boy.
That's why I'm saying.
Because he was the
shows
face
up-
of Fortnite.
Exactly. If
Yeah,
he
he
shows
finally
up
got
on
money.
stage and tries to rep Halo, it won't work. It will not work. I'm telling you.
Then he would just be considered a fanboy, considering you're jumping from
Exactly.
game to game.
This is
fucking-
what will work. I'll tell you as a gamer. Let me throw Phil Spencer a bone. This is what will work. I'm a gamer. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna work. Bring Ninja out, right? Say that Microsoft or Xbox has a promotion with Epic to bring Master Chief skins to Fortnite for Xbox users, right? And you get the skin for free if you're a Mixer subscriber.
That would be a smart business move.
But they're not gonna do that.
No.
But
you know
it
who
may
also
not
did
even
that?
work.
No. It will work. I'm gonna tell you why it will
It
work.
will work.
It will work because they did it for PUBG.
Yep.
If you pre-order PUBG, you got a Nathan Drake skin,
Yeah.
okay, and then your level 2 backpack was Ellie's backpack from The Last of Us.
A lot of people got on that shit because of that.
But what I'm saying is, like, when Fortnite had this big event back here, and they were, I guess, banking on Mixer having a lot of reviews and stuff with Ninja. That Ninja didn't even stream the huge event, so they had like less than 10,000 people on Mixer watching it, while Twitch had a whole bunch of people and everything.
Twitch fan base has been established. That's another market Microsoft's trying to fucking dabble in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they
that's
fucking
what I'm
up.
saying. If he doesn't even like stream on it on the days that it happens, then it's null and void.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
He did it for the check.
But I'm saying the announcement itself. Fuck Ninja. The announcement that you can get a Master Chief skin for free if you are already have a Mixer account. that will send waves through the gaming community. Now we just got a Harley Quinn outfits from the Suicide Squad movie and the new
Yeah.
movie, and that was a promotion. It was pretty big. It helped to a degree of knowing, hey, Harley Quinn exists or whatever. I'm just saying anything could help. That's a gamer purpose. I don't want to see them go on stage again and announce another studio acquisition or another fucking streamer acquisition. You see what I'm saying? That shit, that's not helping gamers at all.
That's doing nothing for us.
Because
Sure.
the studios they paid for over the last 2 years, yes, 2 years again, they've been trying to do this dumb shit at the end of the gen. More powerful system, more studios. It's not helping. Why?
Agreed, Sam.
Because these studios aren't going to produce anything over the next 3 or 4 years. Game development does take normally 3 years. A good game, So they're not lying. We joked about this in a podcast, but it's very true. Those games ain't coming out until after the system comes out.
No, they already confirmed that pretty much.
Yep. 2 years after.
That's game development 101. You don't make games in 1 year. Not a good one.
True.
Ask Naughty Dog how long it takes them to make their fucking Last of Us Part 2. Ask them.
You ain't gotta ask.
And it got delayed 3 times.
Exactly. God of
You ain't
War,
gotta ask.
same
It's already
thing.
in the picture.
Exactly.
Yep.
So if you really believe these acquisitions over the last 2 years and 1 year are going to produce games for the launch of your new system at the end of this year, it's not happening. If you want to know why people aren't hyping or bragging about the dev kit, which I do know exists, we just haven't saw it yet for Xbox, it's because not a lot of developers are finished their game or close to finishing their game. Third-party developers, their eyes, their hearts are on PlayStation, specifically because they know they can make money. There's gamers over here that will buy games. There have been tons of multiplats that have released on PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and they just, for unknown fucking reasons, just slaughter the competition on the other two platforms. Because people over here want to play games. It's not about specs. It's not about fucking console war on the Twitter. It's about playing games. That's what we like to do over
games,
here.
man. And you know the crazy thing is, going all the way back, even though it's multi-plat now, let me look at the retro Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Gran Turismo, obviously still going independently as exclusive. I mean, just they have so many fucking IPs, and it's crazy. Which I hope for next gen.
Someone got an echo.
Yep. But
I don't know who it is, man. But somebody you got to get muted and then fix your mic. So it might be Pinnacle. It might be you. It might be you.
I have myself muted though.
Okay, well Eddie is probably you.
Ain't me. I just said it's me.
I might be you, man. Just
I got you. I'm about to get myself there.
So what I'm saying is, Jay, hopefully for next gen, because PlayStation has so many IPs, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a lot of remakes of classic IPs that deserve to, you know what I'm saying, to see the light again.
As long as it's a generation or two, I'm good. So we're talking about PS2 remakes and PS3 remakes, I'm cool. But nothing from the PS4. What we should be getting from the PS4 is heavy enhancement updates. That's it.
Yep.
We don't need a remake. We don't need remasters. If they do that shit, I will not be buying it. I will wait until that shit is dirt cheap. Look at Dragon's Crown. Dragon's Crown was a remaster. I waited for that. They tried to get away with $40 when that game came out on PS4.
You said it was $13.99?
Yes, it is.
I might pick that up.
You saw it.
Yep.
You saw that shit. That shit's fire, man.
I don't hear no echo, but everybody take a turn putting their mic on mute to see who that is, because I don't hear no echo though.
Okay.
Let me hear that.
I had mine on mute since we came in, so I never heard an echo.
Okay, Eddie said there was an echo. I thought we fixed the echo, so.
But I thought it was Neto at first. Somebody, when he was talking, I heard.
I know for a fact, because I'm sitting here looking at the bowls.
No,
When
Jay,
you talk, it sounds fine, Jay. It's just when everybody else, it kind of has like this reverberation.
Yeah,
Like
it's coming from you, Jay.
it's coming
Yeah.
from me.
Yep.
Hold on. It's probably yeah, it probably is coming from me. Okay. Because my volume is a little high on the
Yep.
computer.
Mic check. Mic check.
Okay.
Still hearing echo.
Hello.
Mic check.
Is the you?
You know what I'm gonna do, man? I'm gonna just put my headphones in, and then so I won't have no fucking echo. Put the Sony headsets on.
You want us to tweet the link for this, right? I already tweeted
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Do that. I already did the tweet. I did the Facebook.
All right,
I
this
did
thing is better.
Twitter.
What's going on, Sam?
Chilling, man.
Sam, do you have anything you want to say?
Well, I had a fantastic breakfast. So there's that.
Damn it.
What was it? What was it?
Cat food.
It was an egg sandwich. I was over exaggerating. All right, so about this Phil Spencer thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like Yella said. He's deflecting. Like
And
Adam
bro,
said, it was Stockhold. Like
He
type
has
of
to be
shit.
capping.
I would have expected this statement last year when he's saying this shit like a couple months away from E3. That's sending the message that whatever Sony has is going to be better than you. Whatever Nintendo continues to do, you already know it's going to continuously be better than you. However, we got Carl Eastwood, we got Dealer, we get Tim Dog, we got fucking Kid Smooth, and the rest of the Xbox fanboys. They're just defending. Even after the statement, I'm like, he's telling you can't compete. So why are you guys still on the internet acting like you still have good games coming out? I just heard a fan, I think they and I know it sounds a little crazy. I would have said Ori. Okay, we talked about Ori yesterday, knowing that it's gonna have a good score. But Ori was not the game that the fan brought up, and this was an Xbox fan. He said Bleeding Edge is gonna have a better Metacritic score than any PlayStation exclusive this year. And the fanboy was Game Trailers with a Z. I think you guys know him on Twitter.
Oh, I like him. He's adorable.
Yeah. I think he got his channel suspended again. Again, these people keep using the same words, the same name.
When does that game come out, by the way?
Soon.
What?
Bleeding
Edge?
Yeah.
Bleeding
I'll look it up.
Edge game release date.
Bleeding Edge's initial release date is March 24th, 2020.
Yeah, man, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Oh, it's right close. It's close to Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
that's a crowded month too.
It's an already crowded month. But I thought they moved a lot of games out of there.
That game needs work.
Yeah, it's a $30 game though.
I don't still see a lot of people buying that game anyway.
No, I mean, see, you got a $30 price tag, then you have it on Game Pass. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with it? Yeah, like I would just get it on Game Pass. Nobody's paying $30 for that.
Nobody's buying their games on Xbox anymore, man. They're Game Passing that shit.
Yep, you're right.
What's the reasoning behind this game? Is it supposed to be another cash cow microtransaction type of model?
Most likely.
Something like Overwatch.
Right.
That's what they shoot for with that game, I think so.
Bro, Sam, well, you've seen it, Sam, with the Gears. I mean, that thing is nothing but a microtransaction fest. You know what I'm saying?
But that looks quality, at least. This game, I've seen it.
Well, regardless of face value or quality, look at the product as a whole. You still can't even push out fucking new maps, but you're always continuously pushing out microtransactions.
Do we get a campaign with Bleeding Edge at least?
I'm pretty sure there might be.
No, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure there'd be. Well, I'm pretty sure that if there is one, they would have spoke of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably not.
Yeah. Because I want to say it would, but they talked heavily about a tutorial mode, but not a campaign. They talked more about tutorial than the campaign.
See, even if it doesn't have a single person campaign, like with Splatoon 2, it didn't have a single person campaign, but they came out with one as a DLC later, but there's still no microtransactions. But I mean, if you're going to release a single player game, a multiplayer game, and it's $30, then load it with microtransactions, knowing the people most likely are not buying the game, it's a lose-lose situation. It's gonna probably go down faster than Crackdown did.
You might have a point.
That's what I was thinking. Like
Mm.
it seems like it's following the Crackdown kind of model.
Well, look, man, I need them to stop. Okay, we the people on the outside looking at Microsoft, looking at Xbox, we understand this. We're not gonna get tricked into even buying into the console ecosystem with the bullshit they're doing. But their fans will dwindle off and leave. And when you lose any of their remaining hardcore fans, you're never getting them back. Because, like I said, they're never going to magically say, we care about exclusives, we're going to take our games off of PC, we're going to stop streaming. They're not going back, they're going forward. And that's not a positive either. But they are going forward with the plan they wanted to. And that was DRM, stay online all the time. They're making it
Mm-hmm.
essential for you to stay online. You need Xbox Live Gold to play the games that are most of the time online only on Game Pass. You need
To
Game Pass.
also be in chats.
Exactly, to also be in chats, to also play free to play games. Again, PlayStation has this over them. You don't need PlayStation Plus to play free to play online MMOs or free to play multiplayer games. You don't need PlayStation Plus for that.
Yeah,
That's something that
and
Xbox hasn't done.
and for most of the Nintendo Switch free to play games, you don't need to have Nintendo Online for
Exactly.
it.
This was the thing we talked about. I gotta read the super chat real quick. My boy True Witty with a $5 super chat. You can't play your games you buy or Game Pass without internet. I did a video with proof and I pissed off a bot. It's funny, they love to lie. It's true. So Snow Bunny, I think you remember what happened not this summer to pass, but the summer before with the crossplay campaign between Microsoft and Nintendo.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I didn't care. It didn't piss me off because I've been doing crossplay before people cared about crossplay. They even utter that shit out of their mouth. I've been doing crossplay with the PC and PS3 many years
But
ago.
you know what caused that huge uproar, right?
Oh, I know.
No, what I'm saying is what caused a huge uproar was the fucking Fortnite players. They decided to
Yep.
get switches so that they could play their game on the fucking
Bodies,
go.
nobody.
And then when they found out that you couldn't play between the consoles, that's who cared about crossplay. Think about it. The only
Do
people
y'all
who
hear
were
that?
bitching were the
Nobody.
Fortnite people. What's up?
You biting real bad, sweetie. Am I the only one hearing that?
It
She sounds
might.
fine to me.
Yeah, she sounds all right to me. I got my headphones in, so I know it's not me.
It's me.
I'm
No.
sorry,
She
but
said.
No, he's saying I was botting.
Oh,
And he
Um,
said just on cue. He's like, shit, is it me again?
oh, no.
but
am
that's
I
what
the
I'm
only one
saying.
hearing that?
Yeah, I think it's you.
Oh,
Go
no.
ahead, go ahead, Bonnie. I guess I'm the only one hearing it. Go
Uh,
ahead.
all right, what I was saying was it was the Fortnite people who fucking cared about that shit. It was nobody else. Then they decided to bring Minecraft over, and I don't even know if many people are using crossplay with Minecraft. But it was mainly the Fortnite crowd that was bitching about crossplay because they decided they wanted to get Nintendo Switches so that they could play their games on the go. And then they found that you couldn't play crossplay. And then what got them even angrier was they couldn't upload their PlayStation accounts to it.
Exactly.
That's what caused a huge
That
uproar.
and when you it's I understand what you said, but the real reason was they didn't have enough people on the Switch to play against themselves. So they needed crossplay for it to still feel like Fortnite. Because the majority of the players were on PC and PS4. It was I think it was PC first, then PS4, then Xbox, then Switch. That was the amount of users that was on each. So if they would have continued the way that most games are still going, you have a specific server for PlayStation, a specific server for Nintendo, and a specific server for Xbox. That's not doing well anymore because Xbox isn't doing well anymore. And then with Switch being new to Fortnite, like in the game being out for a little bit of a time, the people that switched over, was a good amount, but not enough for them to play against each other on Fortnite. You see what I'm saying? So they needed crossplay. I understand they needed it. But my problem was among the people bragging about it or saying Sony's evil for not giving in like they did, I didn't care about PC because we still had crossplay with them. I didn't care about Nintendo because they were playing for free. Xbox fans were up there bragging, and these motherfuckers had to pay. You had to pay to play online with the Switch community, which had to play was playing it for free, and the PC community. Frostbite Slash with a €20 super chat on vacation with the family for the week. For some well needed rest from work, so I can't tune into the podcast this weekend. Hope you guys all have a good one. Thanks, Frostbite.
Appreciate that.
Enjoy your vacation, Frosty.
Frosty.
Oh man.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's my problem about that whole summer. I didn't care about the stuff that PC guys were saying. I didn't care about what Nintendo fans were saying. What I cared is I didn't want Xbox fans to join into that fucking let's bash Sony party because they had no right. Everybody else was still playing the game for free online. You know, we were all playing the game for free online. They were the only motherfuckers that still charging people for a free to play online game. One that is so fucking famous now. Like Fortnite is known throughout the whole world, and you're the only platform that's charging people to play that game.
You want to know why, Jay? I'll tell you exactly why. Because when the 360 first came out, and the whole online kicked off, and Netflix was the exclusive app for Xbox at the time. I mean, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? You would basically be able to watch movies with your friends, and you would see your little avatar sit in front of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So you can be in a chat watching the movie together, long story short, right? So they had cool features with that, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, it came to a point where the consumers said enough was enough. Why the fuck do I have to have a membership to use an app? You see what I'm saying? So they pretty much got rid of that paywall behind Netflix. Okay? So they can definitely do it for the free-to-play games and the chat situation. You see what I'm saying? So, again, people don't say nothing about it, and they're perfectly fine with not having games but buying $500 consoles. You know, so.
And that's what I could never understand.
Yeah, I can't understand that shit. That shit makes no sense.
Yeah, you buy a $500 console, and then a game is supposed to be.
What's that?
Somebody playing a game.
Somebody playing a game. Eddie, you gotta get muted, bro. You gotta.
That's not me. I'm not playing the game.
Who's playing the game, man?
That was me.
I'm playing the game by my side.
Okay.
Nah. I turned on my. You turn it on and it's in what is that shit called, like rest mode? When I turned on, it went straight to the game.
Automatically blame Eddie.
I was about to say, bro. I automatically blame Eddie. Eddie always like playing
rest. Y'all don't leave Eddie alone. Eddie don't be causing all that trouble all the time.
Go blame Eddie for now.
Everybody get on Eddie. So we hear from Eddie be that ain't me.
Okay. We got topics that everybody's covering, but we got topics that other people are not covering. We do have to, the people that take an L, I take an L for this, and this is PlayStation not giving us an announcement for the reveal on the 5th. I don't think we're getting it on the 15th either. I do believe that it will be anywhere before or after the game development conference, because I don't see all those game developers going to that conference and being able to keep their fucking mouth shut. Me and Adam talked about that also.
Tiny mouth man.
It's the wall talker. He's back.
I'm sneaking into the.
What's going on, Adam?
Hello, Adam.
What's good, Adam?
You're here to talk to us about the truth. You gotta talk to us about that truth before we go head on to all these other topics I wrote down.
You say that with
Bye.
I was just waiting for somebody. Come on, Eddie.
Hey, you want to kill me even more, but no big money. If Eddie would have said that's not me.
Oh, God. Hey, man, these words going around about Xbox and PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X is going to be delayed,
because of the
and that's why a
virus.
lot of people think that's why they
Well,
holding off on the announcement.
that's a variable. It's possible. I mean, nothing's confirmed. And me, no disrespect to anybody else, for me as a consumer, as long as I've been gaming, my anticipation ain't shit. To be honest with you, because until you know what I'm saying, it comes. And again, this is no disrespect to topics or anything like that. To go out there, you're good. And I understand what the face value is behind. Again, until Sony or Microsoft announce something, that's when it's concrete.
Yeah, you're right, but let me. Does anybody remember? Because I keep saying a week or two. In 2013, when they officially announced the PS4 coming out, how many? It wasn't that. I want to say it was a week before we found out. Can anybody verify that? Because I want to say it was a week.
But you're talking about the PS3 announcement, PS4 announcement.
No, the PS4.
Oh, I don't
Remember when
remember.
they came out with the announcement? I want to say they said something was going to happen on the 15th, and then on the 20th, that's when they showed the actual announcement.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Jay, aren't they holding some type of conference all month in New York?
Yeah, it's supposed to. This is actually. Hold on, let me see. I think it's
And the
supposed to end
reason,
next week. Next Sunday is the last day for that event,
okay,
and that will be
Day to day.
that's the 16th. And then look, the day after that is a holiday, so they can't really announce anything. That's President's Day. So I mean,
well,
I don't know. I'm not gonna say
that's to
this
be
week,
announced from.
but they gotta do whatever they want to do whenever they want to, and we're never gonna
Mm-hmm.
fucking know. Like Sony is on
Well,
a real secret shit right now.
here's to chime into what you're saying. You're
That's
definitely right, but at the same time, we got 9 months until the holiday, until Christmas, pretty much.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for the whole campaign of this product that we already know that's coming out this holiday because they announced it. Yes, the coronavirus may have correlation to basically delay it, but
yep.
regardless of that, okay, that motherfucking console needs to be announced very soon.
It
Mm-hmm.
does.
Very soon.
I was just about to say it really does because like this is a new console. I know they want to get out in front, at least have at least 7 months under their belt.
Yeah, they
Getting out
need to
there
have they
selling
need to
it.
release to give that platform, aka the platform, enough time and momentum to basically hit people's ears and get the anticipation. We are, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So upon me, like I stated, I don't. My anticipation is not high because I know what I'm. You feel what I'm saying? I was with that kid during the Nintendo 64 saying, "Damn, what's." You feel what I'm saying? So my not that high. It's just at the end of the day, from a knowledge, we know that sometime soon these motherfuckers got to announce something, bro. If it's coming
I
Yeah.
mean, they
out, point
might
blank,
do it
period.
like 6 months before, like what Nintendo did with the damn Switch. They announced it what October, November, and released it in March.
Yeah. I mean,
It's crazy
I
either
don't
way it
see, yeah,
go.
I don't see Sony doing that because they can't. I mean, Nintendo is Nintendo. They can do that. They can, but Sony style, I wouldn't see them cutting it that close. They definitely want to see if they can gather as many people to save as much money before the holiday season to buy the system. That's another big
Hold on,
key.
question. When is The Last of Us dropping?
May,
May,
May.
May
May.
29th.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean,
And the reason
I'm getting a lot of word that they have to start the Last of Us advertisement right before May, like the pickup for it. It has to pick up more than whatever you think is going on with fucking trailers that were released last year or posters that were released last year. We're talking about a real advertisement campaign for The Last of Us. It has to start before May, right? That means trailers, any information on what their plans are for the multiplayer, um, and it would run course between the PS5. That's what I'm saying. One like PS5 has to get announced before they start the advertisement for The Last of Us, and it has to be anytime between before GDC or after GDC, and GDC is March. It's towards the end of March.
So have they finished their campaigning for Final Fantasy?
No, because it got pushed back.
That shit's just getting started.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta look at it. Final Fantasy got pushed back to April. Then you got Last of Us in May. And they're getting to a point of where everything is too close together, and they're going to cannibalize something.
That's what I'm saying. Something's gonna die.
Yeah, that's why we're thinking they should be coming out pretty soon because
go ahead,
it's gonna be hard, man. It's really gonna be hard.
My assumption, I think the end of this month, some point at the end of this month, that they announce something.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I mean, if it happens, it happens. But for that fraudulent bullshit saying February 5th, as soon as I saw it, man, do your research. Do your research. That's all you got to do. Hey, like Jay always says, man, where's your link? Where's your source? And that source was a fucking fraudulent ass fucking account. So, yeah, that shit was for the birds, man.
They've been talking about that. Oh, my sources saying the PlayStation 5 going to be announced and all that.
Hey, man, look.
So, they always say that.
Well, if you look upon what's been going on here lately, everybody has leaks.
Yeah.
Everybody has leaks.
Everybody
has leaks. Everybody has leaks.
Yeah.
Or sources. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's overcrowded with fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff you shouldn't even believe when
I wanted to get down to this, right? Okay, since we're all here. Rod Ferguson. Okay, this is what I want to ask. I know a lot of people came after me over the last 2 weeks.
Adam, you here for this?
And the reason why these niggas came after me is because I exposed a lot of them. And I'm calling you out, call Eastwood. Now, you claim to have sources. You can't claim to have all these leaks and resources, right? To figure out what's going to go down before other people so you can capitalize on it and make a video about it or a podcast about it to gain ad revenue from YouTube, right? That's what you're doing, right? I called you out on the bullshit and I said you presented a lot of clickbait, which is very true. We know Crap Gamer did it. We know Cult does it. We know a lot of these people do it, right?
Yeah,
what I want to say, hold on, Adam. What I want to say about this, where were the leaks and sources to predict that Rod Ferguson was going to leave Coalition to go to Blizzard?
Facts. Yep.
I want to know. I want to know, where is the 2-month-old Horizon Zero Dawn rumor? It has not been confirmed. The rumor started in December. It did not start in January.
Nope.
The rumor is almost 2 months old. At the end of this month, it will be officially over 2 months old. You still got Xbox fans up here trying to use this as ammunition, and nothing has been confirmed. This is what I don't understand about you guys. When shit's not confirmed, when you can't predict something, where's the narrative that you had leaks and rumors for specs? Like, if you had leaks and rumors for something as secretive as the specs of a next generation console that developers don't even fucking know about yet, you couldn't predict that fucking Rod Ferguson was gonna leave? Where was the predictions for that? I need somebody to speak up here. Adam, I think you was about to say something.
No, I mean, well, I said this yesterday to you, Jay, with the Rod Ferguson thing, and like, I mean, you mentioned this about, where were their predictions on this? The fact of the matter is, all these fans, like, especially the RDX guys, I'm going to be blunt with them. They only like to talk about hardware. They talk about, every single time I see on Twitter, it's always about Xbox Series X. It's always about the infrastructure. It's never really about their games, right? What are so-and-so working on, or whatever dev they want to talk about, what they're working on. It's always the same shit, which is, hardware. Whereas, when PlayStation, lean their head around the corner about hardware, it's just like, no, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. No, it's lies, blah. It's like, what the fuck? Since the beginning of this year, I've been sick and tired just hearing this leaks, back and forth bullshit. And just, leaks, sources, rumored crap, and just seeing actual people fight over them, like, as if they're fucking concrete. Seeing, people like Dealer, Cole, and, basically the RDX guys, the people that are on that fucking podcast, are consistently talking about rumored specs, rumored things that are not concrete, they're not official, but they are trying to make them as if they're fucking official. They're not. I have not seen a Phil, I have not seen Matabuti, I have not seen your fucking hierarchies of fucking Xbox confirm these are the fucking specs. Until then, I'm again being blunt to him.
Just do us all a favor and shut up.
To shut the fuck up.
Facts.
But obviously they won't because, but that's your opinion. It's like, okay, it's my fucking opinion. But no one wants to hear this shit for the next fucking 4 to 5 months. You know what I mean? We're already in the 2nd month, right? And it's just like we're still hearing bullshit rumors from these guys.
Leaks, rumors, source, leaks, rumors.
Yeah, it's just all some bullshit. They don't really know what the fuck's going on, so they're just.
None of us know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
that's facts.
Yeah, and look, and that's all right, man. We're gamers. We're low. You know, like, look, he told me, bro, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. He told me before all this drama shit went down, he was like, before he started YouTube, he was going to conventions and talking to developers and shit like that. That doesn't mean shit. Adam talks to fucking developers.
Yeah, everyone can talk
to devs. I'm just saying, bro. I've talked to developers too over Twitter. They've liked my shit. I have Insomniac following me after the story that I basically broke. And everybody knows that story, the exclusivity of Spider-Man. There were rumors about the Spawn out that Spider-Man was going to go multi-plat because Disney and Sony wasn't together, or they wasn't, they didn't know what they were going to do with the Marvel movies. As far as the inclusion of Spider-Man that then became apparent when he was included in Avengers Civil War? Captain America Civil War. So they bluntly told us it's never happening. And I think everybody remembers that. Nobody remembers the person that asked the question that made them say it's never going to happen. I was one of those people. They replied to at least 3 to 4 other individuals that made headlines as well.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I asked them was about the exclusivity of Sunset Overdrive, and lo and behold, I believe a year or so later, it got confirmed that Sunset Overdrive was going to go to PC, and now Sony owns the people that make Sunset Overdrive and Spider-Man. Anything can happen, and just because you talk to a developer doesn't mean you know more than anybody else. I tell people all the time, if I don't know, I'm not going to pretend like I know. I will let you know that I don't know. I'm not going to leave you on a hook like that and say, hey, I know, yeah, talk to so-and-so, and yeah, he said this is happening. No, I'm not going to do that. Because why? It puts out more confusion in the gaming community than needs to be. We already are confused about dates of when developers and companies and studios are going to come out and reveal their games prior to E3, prior to PAX, prior to any other gaming event. We're confused. We don't know. But that's what we have video games for. We're supposed to be playing those. I don't think our job is to be publicists for a company or a studio or what they're doing or when they're about to do it. Like, I don't think that's our job description. We play their games. And there's enough games, even on Xbox with the third-party multiplats, for you to play until the next game event. So we can find out what's really going on. But you guys don't want to fucking do that. Because you found out you can make a lot of money off of YouTube by lying to people and putting false advertised fucking thumbnails and headlines. And that's what you want to fucking do every day. That's cool.
And with on top of that, because I've watched a few of their videos, and I like the fact that they always say the future. It's always the same. The future of Xbox is bright, and it's always that sense, right? Where they talk about that, right? Mm-hmm. And they go, but we can't talk about it too much. It's like, why is that? Because you don't know fucking shit. You do not know what Xbox are doing. You think you know, but you do not know. And it's just like, again, with Colt and them lot, I'm just like, honestly, all seriousness, like, I think a lot of people on Twitter are probably thinking along the same lines as others, where they're just like, listen, we know that you want to deliver content. We know that this is how you're delivering content right at this point in time. But, all fairness, shut the fuck up. We don't care. You talk about, again, like, we get this every fucking year. E3. Wait until E3, and we get that point where it comes around. They talk big about it for 4 or 5 months, and then next thing you know, it becomes just a shit show. And we're like, okay, you're a fucking joke. Bye.
Hold
And
on,
it's gonna be.
hold on.
Is it gonna be the same thing?
I'll be honest, bro. I've noticed that they talk about E3 going into E3, but after E3, a lot of them don't really have much to talk about. I mean,
Facts.
you really don't have much to take away from Microsoft's E3 because those games don't start coming out until the following year. The ones that make the headlines. Yeah, we're already gonna know if a Forza or a Gears is coming out. We already know about a fucking Halo, which we knew about for what 2-3 years now, across 3 years. Yeah. So it's like you got shit coming out years after that E3. Remember Crackdown when we first saw it? About 3 or 4 years after that E3, the game came out. So again, it's like, hey, wait until E3, then wait until whenever this game comes out. But hey, look, we have another E3 where we're gonna tell you other stuff, but whatever's there, well, you might want to wait a little while for that too. And just wait till the next E3. We're gonna keep talking about stuff. Just keep watching. It's like that with them. They're not giving you anything to say, hey, this shit's launching today. This shit's launching this year. Like they're telling us shit that's going to happen in the future. I predict, this is my prediction, JayTechTV's prediction. Nobody else has this opinion or prediction. That what we're going to see at this year's E3, they're going to show us teasers, logos, maybe some cinematics, some cutscenes, maybe some tech demos for in-game. Of games that will not come out the following year, but games that will come out the years afterwards. And it's not a problem. But again, don't wait for E3 to be disappointed on games you're not going to get for a couple years down the line.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Who is that dude right there? Snow Bunny has a switch. Big Money has all the authority to Coleco business.
Oh,
fuck you, whoever you are.
bro. But the thing is I'm always watching Microsoft's conference because I always hear from them what third-party games are coming to Switch before Switch announces it. So, I mean, that's all that E3 is for Microsoft for me. I've come to realize a long time ago they're not going to show anything that's going to make me rush out and buy an Xbox.
That's the thing. See, on top of that, what you said, Snow Bunny, is that sense of, I remember last year E3, right? Sony weren't going to be there, and the trolling from Xbox fans became a thing, right? Where they're like, "Oh, you're not going to be at E3. Oh, we're going to have such a great E3. Oh, it's going to be amazing." And it's just like, okay, cool, feel good about yourselves, right? But then when that happened, what transpired at E3 2019? Absolutely fucking nothing.
Mierda.
They got plastered by freaking Square Enix's conference, which was okay.
Nintendo shitted on them. Again, Nintendo shitted on them.
Nintendo just literally just shitted on them with games that most people would, like, if I'm being honest, would turn an eye to. But the thing is, their fan base wouldn't. And I remember seeing people like Cult Dealer, some others, literally after that conference, pissed because that was their chance to absolutely just destroy fucking PlayStation, apparently, and they didn't. They didn't do absolutely nothing.
I mean, you can't destroy somebody that's already shitted all over you all gen. Like, what were you gonna do? To have a good show?
That's the thing, Jay. They were using that quote unquote bullshit, and then the funny thing is, even to now, they use those quotes back then. And then they go right now. I'm hearing people say on Twitter, "Oh, but the console war's been over for years." It's like, but then why did you say last year that you're going to shit on PlayStation? Oh, like they're going to like turn the tides. It's like, it's just the inconsistency of like just the absolute bullshit that comes out of Xbox's mouths. Like, be fucking truthful. Be honest. Exactly. Don't fucking lie through your own fucking teeth. Like I see Colt and Peter, right? They both been on a podcast talking about how they're about.
True Witty, have you heard the rumor that Project Mira is VR? Yeah, we did hear that. I think we talked about that a couple podcasts ago. Yeah.
Didn't one of the studios get shut down, like Manchester or some shit like that?
Yes, Manchester got shut down. Hold on, man. Something ain't right here.
Man, I don't live that far from there. I'm about to start up another one.
Where is?
Yeah, Manchester.
Man, you know,
Manchester. They were
even though they
making.
do that,
Well,
I'm sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
no, just saying. Manchester Studios were making a VR title for the past 5 years and haven't budged. They should have made that title within 3 years because it isn't like a full-fledged game. So it's understandable for them to do that, but also again, going back to it, people tend to fucking forget these things. But PlayStation have been restructuring their whole fucking infrastructure this whole generation, but no one wants to talk about it because they don't fucking know shit, or they just don't, they don't.
Exactly. We talked about
Keep up
this
with
last
them.
night during the PlayStation Legion podcast, and what me and Adam was talking about. And you talked for a long time. I was looking at the podcast and listening to what you were saying because it's so well put. Is that they will only talk bad about a studio that gets shut down over here to make it look like PlayStation's doing bad. But
And that's
when
the other thing as well that
it,
I said to you yesterday. I said to you yesterday, Jay. The fact that that's how childish their fan base is the factor of you are happy that people have lost their jobs. So you're shitting on people. Again, obviously, it's obviously PlayStation are the ones that are disbanding. They probably haven't lost their jobs. There'll probably be some people will be led on to other projects within, in England, with the companies that they still got. But it is that sense of, so that's how you like to be. You like to talk shit about a studio that you haven't even looked at. Most of these Xbox fans don't even fucking know this studio. Yet you like to go, haha, fuck you. That this studio has been disbanded. Yet you didn't even know what they were making. You didn't know who they were. You just like to talk shit.
Yo, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why the fuck do they even care though if they don't care about VR?
That's what I'm talking about. There's so many different narratives to this, man. That's just like it's funny because.
But what he said, it corresponds with this. Is like, okay, they don't care about VR. That was a VR only studio that couldn't produce anything within a timely fashion. 5 years, and then your new game by Ninja Theory is going to be a VR title. I've been telling people their new system. The one where you're walking around the studio seems to be a VR title.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
do you guys think
on the Xbox side
they're coming out with a new VR system? Because I still think Sony is coming out with one, but I think now it's a little delayed. I don't think it's. If they do come out with another VR system, I think it's going to be like 4 or 5 years down the road.
Oh fuck!
I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
I'm thinking 2 or 3, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's that far.
You guys got to put in perspective, though. Oculus Rift already has a wireless VR headset. Exactly. So, yes, PlayStation is definitely going to come along.
Yeah,
they're going to come with one.
About VR was to do with their partnership with Oculus, which they.
I think they're still coming with one. I just don't think it's going to be as soon as we thought it was going to be. That's just my own assumption from what I've been seeing.
Yeah. I just want them to come out with one. I can't wait. I fucks with VR hard. No bull.
You got one now? Because I had one. I had to turn mine in, man. I cannot. I've been saying this for the longest time. I love VR, but the only thing with VR, man, they need to fix that motion sickness.
Yeah,
that's to do with the frames.
So what happened was I had it, and that shit happened to me, bro. And I stopped playing it for a while, and then I just sold it, and then I bought it again later on because I saw a game I liked for it, and then I was just back on it again.
Yeah, that's to do with the frames.
I had mine for like a month, and I couldn't. I tried to get used to it because I used to. Me and Lincoln Clay used to talk about it all the time, and he was giving me tips on how to deal with it, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, man. My stomach. I thought my stomach was hard as a fucking rock.
Big money. Quick question, because I still own my VR. What game were you playing?
I'm playing now or back then?
No. Back when you played the VR, what game were you playing?
I was playing the driving game a lot.
Mm-hmm. So the Gran Turismo one? Yep.
Yeah.
And what comes with that is obviously motion sickness because your mind is saying that you're moving, but also your body's saying that you're staying. Like you're not moving. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what
Yeah.
causes the motion sickness. Now, when you play something like Astrobot, there's really not much of motion sickness. Okay, because
Damn, somebody keeps on popping in and out.
Who was that?
Did he just leave?
I think that was Yellow. Yeah.
I think Yellow.
Yeah,
Yellow,
see,
you just
now
got kicked out, bro.
Nah, you know what I'm wondering though? I'm wondering if maybe it's probably a timing
Hello?
thing. It probably is a thing about a game. I'm wondering if it's like a timing. Like if you play for like 15 hours or 18 hours, something crazy.
Oh yeah, you're not supposed to play that long. Not on VR.
You're gonna die if you
Yeah,
use
you
it.
guys-
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, Big Money,
there we
you
go.
know how I feel when I play a first-person shooter.
I think
That
it's to do with,
same
like-
thing you're feeling with is what I feel when I play first-person shooter. So I already know I'm not going to be going into mode.
It made me feel like I had the Ebola virus. That shit made me like I've never been like that ever in my life. Like
Oh,
for
no,
real,
no,
that
no,
shit
yeah.
is like it's scary.
Frames, the
And you be sweating. I was sweating so fucking. I damn near my shirt was real wet. I was like, I gotta take this fucking.
Oh
thing
yeah.
off.
Oh yeah, when I played Resident Evil 7, yo, that I'm not gonna lie, that shit scared the fuck out of me, but I finished it, bro. I was
Mhm.
sweating. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
So
Yeah,
good.
like I
This is
said,
wild.
that's what I feel every time I play a first-person shooter. So
Yeah.
that's when you hear that, you know what I feel. And it's just because your body is like what Yellow was saying. Your body thinks your brain thinks you're in motion, but your body isn't. So what your brain is doing is making you sweat and get sick, trying to inject to get rid of a poison because it thinks you've been poisoned.
You know, the correlation to that is that's
what?
with me being in the car and trying to read. I can't do it. If I'm in a passenger seat or back seat and I try to read something, I can't do it, bro. I'll get sick.
You know what? Once they figure out a way to get past that, VR is gonna like take off. Like, cause right now, I think we talked about this before. Like,
Yeah.
well, no, I talked about this on another show, but like they was arguing with me about. They said a lot of PlayStation fans think that. Well, in my opinion, I don't think PSVR is in the mainstream yet. I think they like at 5 million, but when you got 106 million consoles out there, I don't think it's as successful as Sony wanted it to be. Not with 106 consoles out there, and they only sold like 5-6 million of those things. But I was arguing with some other PlayStation fans, man. They was like, "Nah, that fucking thing is mainstream now." Like, no, it's not. Not with 105 million. Like from a fan, you might think so, but if you was sitting on that executive seat at Sony, they thinking like, "God damn, we missed this one."
games, and well, with Half-Life Alex coming out this year,
Yep.
that a lot of people are looking towards that as being the first title that could technically bring in VR. Like,
And guess what, Adam? It's not coming to PlayStation VR. It's not coming.
Not yet. That will. I'm saying it right now, Big Money. That game will come to PlayStation VR. It will.
No, Adam, that thing, the PlayStation VR cannot run that, man. It can't
No,
run
I'm
it.
saying this right now, Big Money.
Hold on, run what?
Bet any sort of fucking money.
Make a bet.
That game is coming out.
I would love to make.
Oh, I'm saying right now, if I had £1,000, I would bet you that money and say that game will be coming out on VR.
Okay, but how long? How long you think? How long is it gonna be before it be on PSVR? I'll give you. I'm gonna give you a year. Is it a year long enough?
Fuck no. I'll give it like maybe. I'll say like maybe 2020, like 2023, 2024.
Well, by that time, it'd probably be another. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but like, you know, like
the next one, when they come out with the next PlayStation VR, then they'll probably port it over. But I don't think this PlayStation VR can run that.
No, this
think
PlayStation VR, it could play it, but it's essential on the performance aspect. And when it comes to
I can get caught in the loop. What game are you talking about? Half-Life. Okay.
Because Half-Life Alex is roughly around the same amount. They've already confirmed it. It's an actual full-fledged game, and it's roughly around the same amount of hours as Half-Life 2. In VR. Which
you go look at the specs again of what they need to run that. I'm telling you, bro.
I've already seen it. I've already seen that. And
And
again,
then
when
they have that special hand thing that they got for
I
whatever it is.
understand that, but that's
And
all to
PlayStation
do
don't
with,
got that.
that's all to do with what they have as a controller. Like, and again,
Input device.
depending on what PlayStation do in the future with VR. But that's the thing. Even though like VR hasn't sold a shit ton, right? PlayStation, like when it comes to VR, like as a platform, right? They are within the top, free, selling, right? You got Oculus, you
Yeah,
got
of course.
Vive.
Because when it comes out, everybody else is way higher than them. Everybody else is way higher. I know it's on. As
And I
far
can
as
see
VR, like if we talking about VR as a whole, of course, yeah, they're on top. But
they're on
as far
top.
as mainstream and what Sony thinks of it, I just think, in my own humble opinion, I think Sony is looking at this PlayStation VR is not what they expect it to be. I'm thinking they.
I'm
Well, no,
going to
because again, they're not.
disagree with that, because if you're going to say because it sold 5 million units versus 105 million units versus sold, then you can make the same argument about God of War not being a commercial success because it only sold 10 million units
Yeah, look.
versus
Oh,
105 million units.
That's different
that's
between a
it's
peripheral
kind
and a video game. We're talking about a peripheral. This is way
Yeah.
different.
But look, as
That's what
far as
separates
all
it.
peripherals
kind of different.
of that title, that type go, Big Money, it is mainstream compared to the other. Between any of
Yep.
the VRs on PC, PlayStation VR sold more. It might be weaker. It might not have the little controller things you was talking about. But think about it. With all the stuff you're talking about that it doesn't have, it sold more.
You've got to look at the.
Nah, just because it's so more, it does not.
It's the
Listen to me.
reason we're even
Okay,
talking
hear
about
me out
VR.
first, Jay. Jay, hear me out. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is, far as Sony is concerned, that is not. I'm not saying it's a failure.
I
I'm
see what
saying
you're saying.
that far as the how many consoles they sold, in order to play that peripheral, you need that console, and they wanted that to be at least at 10 to 13 million right now with 106 million consoles sold. If you think that that's if we're talking about mainstream VR, yes, it's out there on the mainstream far as VR as a whole. But as a company, if I have sold 106 million consoles and I only sold my peripheral, just think if the Kinect wasn't in the box with the Xbox, right? And they sold 3 million of those things, they would look at it like, nah, bro, this wasn't it. This wasn't it, y'all. This wasn't it. This was a peripheral for the console, and they only sold 5 million out of 106 million, guys.
Why?
I don't think, in my own humble opinion, I don't think Sony is looking at that device right now as a quote unquote win-win for them.
It's
just
definitely going to
ain't.
be a win. That's your humble opinion, but you also got to put in perspective. Yes, it's a peripheral. So to the mainstream of how many consoles have been sold, a lot of those people are not willing to spend the $200 as a peripheral. Okay, yes, it does have numbers to back that up because again, we're talking about it. But at the end of the day, yes, we are going to get another PlayStation VR. You feel what I'm saying? In the future, I can't give you the exact date or when, but yes, there will be a successor behind that. PlayStation is going to stand behind that peripheral.
They're already doing it because they're spending money in R&D trying to figure out how to get rid of that motion sickness problem.
But look at the quality of Iron Man. Self-explanatory.
Iron Man out already?
That's the thing.
No, it's not out yet.
It got delayed.
You've got to look at again, like when it comes to what Big Money said about like PlayStation not like fully on board with the sort of thing. It like to me, saying that it's also the sense of like all the other bits of hardware that have been like that, like the Move controllers, and PS3, the iToy on the PS2, the Kinect on the 360, and the what I mean. They were things that were made and developed and stuff like that, but it was that sense of they had these nice little like quirky things going for themselves, but they didn't really provide anything more. Whereas with VR, like when it got announced, or Project Morpheus when it got announced, based on the games, it wasn't there. Like, there wasn't really much for it. But if you look at it right now, category of games, it's slowly getting there. You know, there are definitely some great titles there. And obviously, it can only go so far based on what it's able to do. Like we're stating, right? It has the motion sickness aspect because of, you know, frames being a bit janky, which fucks with your head. It's also the sense of, you know, like some people talk about the wires.
I think when it came out, Adam, one of the main things was the price too. It was $400 when it first came out, and I think that was
any lower than what they already are because, you know, look at the Vive, look at the Oculus, right? They're expensive to the degree that they are because of the performance that is in those things, but also just the overall design of it. So it's like, you know, PlayStation, like
a lot of money, bro. If you add what, 5 million,
5 million
times however much it costs, they made a ton of money back.
I'm not saying big money saying that.
I don't know. Like you gotta, like we don't know that, Jay. We don't know if they made their money back. We don't know how much, because we really don't know how much they spent on the PlayStation VR development and everything. I wouldn't say that they made all their money back. I'm not gonna say that because they haven't put any numbers like that out at all. We just know how much it's sold, and we don't know how much the R&D was, and none of that for the place. We even never asked that question. But I'm just saying, man, if you look at the numbers, I don't know nothing about business. I don't know nothing about business. But to me, if I'm sitting on the board as execs and I say, wow, we sold 106 million of this, and this is an add-on to this, and it only sold 5 million. Hey guys, I want to do it again, but not right away, because didn't nobody really buy this like we expected them to.
I mean, would you
like I said, for the whole VR spectrum, yes, they did great. But 5 million off 106 million, the numbers just don't add up.
So somewhat of a correlation, you can pretty much say that the accessory for the VR headset
one at a time
is correlation to the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's selling, but at the same time, for that price point for the peripheral, you know, there was no games to back it up. Games are starting to come out now.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, that is the thing that makes it different. And no bull, like I see what you're saying, Big Money, but I feel like once the second one comes out, like all that shit's just gonna go, like all that shit's not even gonna be, you know, it's gonna be irrelevant. You feel me? Because it's gonna explode. Like in my opinion, that's what I feel like is gonna happen when the second one comes out. Because
I think for the VR crowd, I think it did what it needed to do to bring the conversation to VR. Is something that people want, something people would actually spend money on, and they did, and I think they did a very good job. Whether they made their money back or not, big money, they did a very good job. 5 million of a peripheral that nobody even expected them to sell that much of. Man, it's better than the more powerful, more advanced VR headsets that are out here on the PC. It sold more than all of them.
And you know what's the thing, Big Money, is that the thing is that shit, like we already said, it's in the top 3, but I believe it's sold the most amongst all the VR. That being
way more.
But even for that simple fact, that's technically a win right there because they have that market. Like they're still you see what I'm saying? So if they use that market and they facilitate that and they grow it and nourish it, at the end of the day you got to spend money to make money. So maybe they did, you know, possibly lose a little here or there, but you know, eventually they're gonna gain it back because they're number one at that shit at the moment. You feel me? So when the second one comes out, you know, that shit's gonna explode, and I can't wait. I'm gonna buy that shit. I'm gonna pre-order that shit.
And the game quality is gonna be so much better. So
that's the other thing as well. People got to take into account. It's their first, again, like out of the big 3, have the other 2 done VR? No. I mean, would you count the cardboard thing with Nintendo? I don't know. But it is that sense of, you know, it's their first try. It's their first try into VR. It's their first crack at it. For them to do 5 million units and be the top-selling VR system, that's a win. That's a definite fucking win. And with the game,
Adam, you do have to look at, like, when it first came out, Adam, it was $400. The next VR system was about $900, bro. Of course, it was going to be better. Like
the thing is with it, the pricing of it.
If you went to the store, Adam, and you see something for $400, and you see the next VR headset, the very next one was $900. It's a no-brainer. You go.
Look, I agree with what Big Money's saying,
fuck's
but
sake, man.
so I'm sorry, Adam.
Jay, you go again. You agree
No,
with what I'm saying?
when it comes down to VR competitors, right? That is the cheapest platform. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at it in the sense of like a console. They're looking at it in the sense of what other VR platforms are out, how much they cost. That costed $400, right? That's a fucking cheap fucking
with
thing.
everything, it was
And if
more,
they
to be
go
honest.
into PSVR Big Money and they were to release the next VR system and it fixed all the problems that we're talking about, and it was £800, £700, right, or whatever it may be, and it was cheaper than the Oculus or the Vive or whatever HTC are doing, they would gladly pull it out for that price. Because again, like it all comes down to, again, like I talk about this a lot, right? When it comes down to like mobile phones, you get a brand new iPhone, you get a brand new Samsung, a brand new Google every fucking year. They cost at least $1,000 to $900 a year,
Easily.
and people go out and they buy those phones. And obviously, yeah, like it won't be like a massive amount, like what PlayStation 4 did, like 100 million units, whatever. But needless to say, that people will go out and buy these things. And again, like it's a specific niche, right? Like the motion controllers with with the Wii or the Move. Same thing with the Kinect, the cameras, or even before that, the iToy. It's these small little quirky niches that these consoles like tend to develop behind closed doors, and if it's got like some sort of interest for the console in the future, they'll try to do something with it, and see how it goes. Like based on previous hardwares that PlayStation has released, like the iToy, the Move, and this, they've actually done a really fucking good job with the VR. Like I didn't expect them to be supporting the VR as much as they have already been doing. But like to see them do like Iron Man VR and
what was that? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Concrete Genie in VR?
Yeah, they had a VR mode.
Yep.
I mean, there's been a lot of VR support. Gran Turismo, Wipeout.
Resident
Evil. Do they still have? Do they do VR support for Dreams yet?
No, the game comes out
this week, but
it's gonna be patched in.
It's coming post.
People have made VR-centric games for Dreams, but the support is not there yet. It's just like multiplayer.
They confirmed. I was watching that in kind of funny impressions yesterday with the two ladies that were from Media Molecule, and they were talking about the content that even though Dreams is releasing this week, and it's gone gold, it's all ready to go. They are talking about and working on the future of Dreams, because again, it's not a couple of years in plan. Shuhei said it was a 10-year plan.
10 years, yep.
It's a few-year plan as well. And again, when it comes to Media Molecule games, that's what they've always done in the previous games. That they built around the community and see what they want, and they go from there. And that's the thing that's so unique for Media Molecule as a company compared to some of the other bigger studios. They're all about having these weird, fun, wacky sort of ideas, and do it, which you don't really see in the industry as much, because they are technically a liability. But for PlayStation, they see a lot with Media Molecule to allow them to do this.
So Sony's facilitating hippies with the studio. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna lie.
Yo, question though. Who's gonna question? Real quick question. Who's gonna be on Dreams when that shit comes out? Because I'm hopping on that shit.
I will be on there.
Nobody.
There's only one thing I'm kind of concerned about with Dreams. With everything being with everything being made in it that can copy everything. I don't know if you guys are even old enough to remember playing City of Heroes or City of Villains.
I remember.
Okay, do you remember the big thing that happened with that?
Yeah, I do.
In City of Heroes and City of Villains, the thing happened where people were making the exact replicas of their favorite superhero or supervillain. All the comic book companies, DC, Marvel, all of them went after City of Heroes for that.
Yeah.
Because they said it was infringing on their properties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if something like that's going to happen now with Dreams, with all the fan things being made. Like people were getting banned and their characters were getting deleted because of some lawsuit settlement that they had where um NC Soft had to go in there and do that. So I'm wondering if the same thing's going to happen with Dreams.
I don't know. I don't know
don't
because
think so because
yeah.
Little Big Planet has been doing Mario levels that look identical to Super NES.
Yeah, but it's gone live, but it hasn't gone to the point where it's being sold yet.
Now
And
see,
it didn't with City of Heroes. It happened about a year in before all the shit went down. It
no, that's
wasn't
what I'm saying.
immediate
Little
with
Big
it.
Planet has been out for since 2008, I believe. And so you can use every creation that has been published online from part 1, part 2 and part 3 on the PS4, right? And there have been copyrighted levels, including copyrighted music, and I'm talking about Super Mario as a prime example. And nothing has happened where they had to take it down. The only thing I dealt with is me playing gameplay using a Mario level, and on YouTube they gave me like a copyright claim that that music is owned by Nintendo. But they never went after Sony and Media Molecule and said, "Hey, you need to get rid of Little Big Planet because too many people are making copyrighted stuff." That would go against every other type of game similar to this, like Gary's Mod, where people are creating similar experiences to replicate what they used to play. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's been
Yeah,
a
I see.
lot of games out that look like this.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it would happen because
Hold
like
on.
the thing is that they're tools. You feel
What's
me?
going
So
on,
it's like,
Fatal?
oh, who's here?
They
Fatal.
got something.
Hey,
They got
Fatal.
something.
Oh, what's good, Fatal?
Hey, Fatal. Hey, Snow Money. I see your concern, but I think they. I'm not gonna say it's a law, but I think they figured that out a long time ago within the gaming community to get past that type of stuff. That's why I'm pretty sure when they make a game like this, Sony, these companies that own these studios, they check twice to make
Yep.
sure that
Yep.
something like that doesn't happen. So I'm pretty sure they went over, they crossed their T's and dotted their I's before because they realized a lot of people was going to make a lot of stuff that was going to copyright on a lot of other stuff, and they were like, hey, I'm pretty sure, I don't know what the law or the rule about that is, but I think they have something in place so something like that can't happen again. It did happen with that game what you're talking about, but I think like when something like that happened, people go to work and they're like, oh, how can we fix this? And I think they fixed it where they don't mess with people anymore.
I was
Because I've
I was
seen
about
it
to say
too.
the same shit. I was literally about to say the same shit. Fatal. Nah, but
Well, you did. I'm glad I got it out before you did.
yeah.
You making porno games, Blizzard games and shit like that.
Yeah, they do. I
understand
think
what
they
their
have
games
something
can
in
do.
place because they did this one thing with this football game. Everybody got this football. I forgot the name of the football game, Snow Bunny. But they were inside the game. You can make real teams, but the
Yep.
NFL couldn't touch them. They couldn't touch them because the game. That's not they. It was within the game. The gamer made that team up from scratch within the game. Just because he said it was the Chicago Bears doesn't mean that the Chicago Bears are like, hey man, you copywriting on our shit. They couldn't do. They got something in place to counteract that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the name of
Sony
it.
wouldn't be stupid enough to have Dreams go
Yeah,
gold for
they
them
wouldn't.
not
Yeah.
to be able to do this. From what
Yeah.
I've heard, like a year ago, before the very first alpha, this was 2018 at the end, that they were, looking through avenues to make sure that they could get a license. Now that means they've already checked off this copyright bullshit. Now let's say I was having problems with music on Dreams for Zelda level, right? I was scared to play that Zelda level. I was also scared to play Mario level. Well, what people have done, because in Dreams you can do this, you can mix up your own music. You don't have to use anybody else's music. You can replicate Mario's music as much as you want, and it's not the real thing, and they cannot copyright you. So there's ways around that, and because it's not the real Mario, there's nothing Nintendo really can do. Like you putting an M on a hat. You see what I'm saying? If I put an M on a hat, is Nintendo gonna come out of the fucking bushes and say, "Hey, I'm gonna sue you for that"? I mean, that would be.
They probably would.
Yeah, they probably would if they could, but it would be kind of crazy. But I'm pretty sure they checked themselves. Now, the thing I was talking about getting a license so gamers can sell their creations. I don't think they've gotten that yet. They did talk about it, and that's where the rumor came up. The Dreams was go ahead to the PC.
That's just common sense, though.
Yeah.
If you were to sell your games, you wouldn't fucking put a Mario fucking cap on your character, would you?
So those games won't be able to be sold to make any money. You can't make any money off of those. They're only gonna probably permit passes for gamers that are making original games. But yeah, there are so many clones. Sonic community is strong. The Pokemon community is strong. Mario's community is very strong.
Jay, you still talking about Dreams?
The power of it, motherfucker.
No, but I checked this out though, because I had this discussion with Jay on the phone when I was driving home the other day. Bro, that game, it's not for me as of right now. Okay, but Jay made a good reference. That's the PlayStation Game Pass.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And beyond that, just imagine when this game gets released to the main public. Okay. What if somebody creates a game, they see this shit, and this motherfucker winds up getting a contract to basically make his game come to fruition?
That's gonna be me.
It's a development tool. Yeah, it's a development
I
tool.
just said it's a tool. I said it earlier that it's a tool because I do.
And that shit boring as hell.
Wait. So who said that Dreams is what?
Dreams
is what now?
Development tool.
Pure power.
Well, yeah, no, it's definitely a development tool for sure. But what about Game Pass?
It's pretty much a PlayStation version of Game Pass.
You buy the game and there's
PS Now is fucking Game Pass.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I know what you said. You said it before. I'm just saying for somebody to, for instance, say they get a PS5, right? And pretty much they buy Dreams, okay, because that's all they can afford. Upon them basically buying that base game, it basically spreads out for them to have mini games. Of course, it's not going to be.
I see what you mean.
My God.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to get the status of a AAA or AA game, but at the same time, you can play something.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I see your point.
It's the power.
Dreams is garbage as hell. How can you have nightmares in Dreams, man? I have nightmares playing Dreams.
Well, guess what? The
Well,
game
maybe you
comes
can
out
make a
Tuesday
nightmare
for early access users, so I'm gonna spam the fuck out of you. How about that?
Facts. You can make a nightmare level in Dreams, then you have a nightmare
about Dreams.
So what if I wanted to make my own model, right? What if I wanted to make my own model that had giant boobs? Can I do that?
Yep.
Somebody's already
done it. Doing a real big planet.
Yeah, they've already done it.
That is excellent, dude. That is freaking sexcellent.
Bro, I already got mad ideas, bro. Like I said, I'm a game developer myself.
Excellent. Get out of here with that.
Like I said, I'm a game developer myself and whatnot, so I can't wait to get that shit.
Or can I make a better game than Star Wars Jedi Fallen dog shit?
Oh, they've already been doing
I
that.
am. I'm going to school for it, bro. I've been doing it for years.
Oh, are you? Oh, man, that's good, man. That's good, bro.
Power of dreams, make dreams come true. Big money.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, let me ask you this. If Sony came to you, they gave you about $200,000 to come join them, but Xbox came and got you and said, we're going to give you $1 million to come join us. Where you going?
PlayStation. All day.
There you go.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you something. Why? Because the way I am, bro, I'm all about like fucking loyalty. You feel what I'm saying? That's a real big part of me too. It's like I'm not gonna go over here. And another thing, I don't like fake people. I don't like fake people, and I don't like. I don't associate myself with that.
Hey, damn, fuck fake people. What about real money? You gonna tell me if Xbox, hold on, y'all. If Xbox say, hey man, we gonna give you $1 million to join us, but Sony say they gonna give you 200,000, you gonna take the 200,000? Hey man, you better
face value.
Nah. Let me tell you.
Face value, because if he drops $1 million, his game ain't gonna sell, bro. If he gets 200,000,
another deal. Like shit, but like, look at Ninja Theory, right? When they're making Hellblade, they had to fucking make their own little mocap stage out of household appliances to fucking make that game. They were proper independent, and I think it was roughly around
10 million.
The third year within their development, right? It's on YouTube where you can watch it. Where Unreal Engine, sort of spoke out and said to them, you can use our engine. Then also some other mocap people came out and like, we want to help you make this game. And again, it wasn't millions and millions of dollars. It was like a couple. It was like 100,000, a couple 100,000 to make that game.
So like shit, and it's so like shit. Keep it
Hey
real,
yo,
y'all.
but nah. Hear me out. Because here's the thing. Because you're basically asking me like, would I act fake and like pretty much like shit on all my like principles and
Money
morals
doesn't
just
buy
for some
talent.
money? You see what I'm saying?
No. It's not that. It's not that, man. It's like I wouldn't want you. Like I'm gonna tell you this. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bro.
Yeah.
If you're going to work, this is your job. This is where you take care of your family. I wouldn't want you to turn down that type of money because you like PlayStation, bro. Now that's all I'm saying.
No,
That's
it's
all I'm
deeper than
saying.
that. It's deeper than that because that's the company I want to work for. I actually want to work for Sony, like
You
not
want to
just
work for?
PlayStation games.
Okay, but still, man,
But
I
that's
don't
in the
know, man.
future. That's far in the future.
Man,
Like
I'd rather work for Nintendo, dude.
I'm an indie developer now, so that's like that's kind of where I'm at now. But going on to the future, that's where I wanted to work at.
Oh, you
Okay,
an
no,
indie dev?
I understand that part. I understand that. I just don't want nobody out there to be so much into this game and shit.
Yeah, nah.
Opportunity come across to them like that, and they be like, "Nah, you can keep that
Nah.
million."
Hey,
Come on,
track,
Big Money.
with
You
the
know
track
there's
record,
lots of people in this gaming community that are like that, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, you got
But
to
with
have
that
common
track
sense when it
record,
comes
bro,
to
sad.
money.
you
It's sad.
gotta understand.
Yeah, and I hate that. I don't want them to do that. That's what I'm saying. And I hear you, bro. I hear everything you saying. I'm just saying when it comes to like a lot of people in this gaming shit, they turn it over to their real life and fuck their real life up on some crazy shit like that, bro. Now I hear what you say. You say you want to do this because you want to work for Sony. Now I'm with you, but I don't want anybody that go into game and say, man, I want to be a developer. And then just because they love Sony, they will turn down $1 million fucking because they love Sony PlayStation.
No, like for example, I don't want to work for Xbox and Microsoft. I want to work for Sony. But let's say I'm working for Sony and they need a little bit of work done. I'd be an idiot not to take it. Like if they need a little help and like here, like let's say, I see what you're saying. You're talking about more like the businessman perspective. I feel what you're saying. Like
this is life.
Yeah, like no, but if they ask me like, yo, help out with like, cause I code, I do like C# and C++. So if they were like, we need like a debugger or we need like a fucking junior programmer or whatever, just to help us out for like a certain amount of time, I'd be like, all right, I'll help you out, but that's gonna be like a one time. It's not gonna be like every. You feel me? Like my main base where I work at is gonna be at Sony, regardless.
If you need a game tester, man, hit me up. If you need a game tester, man, hit me up.
Yeah, hit me up.
What's good?
But that's good, bro. You know that's where the money at now. That's good that you going into that business, man. I wish you all the best. Just make sure you come back to this podcast. If you get a good game, come back to this motherfucking podcast and hook us up. Get us some jobs.
I will. No bullshit. I'm pretty young too. I'm pretty young, but I've been doing it for a while, and I got a nice plan set out and shit. Like I'm actually doing an internship for coding. I think it's where is it? It's in it's actually pretty close to me. I think it's like 30 minutes away from where I live and whatnot. And I'm about to go down there, and it's basically for programming and shit. So I'm about to go over there and
that's good. That's good.
make a game and shit.
Well, look, congratulations and look, I know big money jokes around, but we all understand that dreams is it's a powerful tool for $40 for indie developers, because gaming is expensive for us, the consumer, but it's very expensive for the game producers, the game developers, those studios. Bro, it's very expensive, and if you can make anything and edit it however many times you want with no cost for all $50. For $40 in the United States, that's impressive. I think in the UK it's like 30 something. Thank
you, JayTech, for saying that because it's 50 over here. But yeah, thank you for saying
where
in
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
But I already have it. I already own it, so I'm good.
Me and you agree. We get a Tuesday.
Man.
But
hey Jay, we've been talking about for a while, man. The only thing that scares me about this game, like I said, you said it before, man. I joke around a lot, but I don't want this game to do bad. But it does scare me that hasn't nobody been really talking about this game, bro, and it's scaring me that this game.
And they know that though.
Is going to fail.
And look, bro,
I've been telling people.
Sam have been talking to PlayStation people. I gotta go talk to that guy with the AQ in front of his name. He liked a couple of my posts. Like I gotta go talk to a couple people tonight and see what the fuck their plan is. The game comes out Friday. The early access users get to play it on Tuesday. I don't know when the reviews are coming out, but the 3 that we have are between a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. It's not gonna be a bad scoring game.
Hold on. 9.8 out of 10.
9.8
out of 10.
Yeah. And look, I believe that more people to show off shit in Dreams is gonna get more people talking about it.
It isn't gonna be a
Well,
fast.
do you guys remember? Do you guys remember the promo that they had for Jumanji?
Yes, that was a good one.
There was listen, bro. There was a Jay. You know what I'm talking about? But there was a promo with Jumanji. But the promo they were using Dreams, and they built The Rock. They built Kevin Hart. Like they built Jack Black. All in the game, and they had mini games within it. Yeah. Now, mind you, there was a game that came out that was the official game, Jumanji, and they didn't even use that game. They used fucking Dreams.
Yeah, I noticed that. They never promoted Jumanji, the video game, but they did promote Jumanji inside of Dreams, which was dope.
Yep.
Hey, y'all check this shit out. I think now y'all know y'all gonna be like, this motherfucker went crazy. I think Dreams will do better than Kojima's game.
Cut it out.
I think it's gonna be better than that.
Fuck you.
What, better than
It depends. Because here's the thing: if it becomes a big thing and it becomes like a big trending shit on YouTube, and like people just make new maps, new games and stuff, like if it becomes a real big trending thing, maybe. But like, what do you mean? More sales or more attention?
More sales. I think it'll sell better than what's name. I think it will. Hey, you got super chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Super chat. You got a super chat, Jay.
Oh,
who want to read that? Eddie, you want to read that?
It went past fast. I can't see it no more. It went up.
I got it. So this is from President PlayStation for $5. So whoever has early access for Dreams upon release will get the update for full content along with trophies. It's a first for me having early access.
Thanks for that $5, bro. Thanks.
Yeah, they're gonna give a.
Yo, how do you get that early? How do you get that early access shit? Because I've been.
Well, you can't purchase it now, unfortunately, but it was available.
It was available for most of the fucking year in 2019 for $30, and the game is $40, bro. Like I don't know why. Look, the advertisement for this game. I'm just gonna be a fanboy right now.
We're the ones advertising.
Exactly. Look, I'm about to be the dumbest fanboy right now. Listen to my words. They only did this shit because they don't want people to buy it. Because if people buy this shit, the servers will get over flooded, and they don't got enough money for the Dream server. You gotta think about how many fucking creations are already in this shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Let me co-sign something though. Jay has sold me some dope ass fucking work, bro. Some dope ass work. I don't know if you guys are looking at the podcast, but self-explanatory. That's fucking Wolverine.
That's from In Dreams. Somebody made that In Dreams.
You can't expect.
And Yellow, see, that's what scares me, bro. He's the only one that I've been here talking about Dreams, man. That's what's scaring me about people buying this. I've only been seeing Jay. Jay, the only one that's really been playing this game, man. I haven't seen too many people
put that motherfucker as a spokesman.
I've been talking about it.
Hey, don't worry there.
Matter of fact, now that you said that, I'm about to make a video on it, like today or tomorrow. Deadass.
Pinnacle, by the way, somebody was asking, like, I guess what games have you done or what you're involved in as an indie developer?
Oh, right now I'm more like low key because I'm still like in school right now at the moment. But I've done a lot of like projects on Unity, and I'm also learning Unreal Engine at the moment. Shit. But lately, I've made already like at least 12 or 15 projects on Unity, and I actually have a mentor that I see. He's been quite busy lately, but when I see him, he also does that kind of same stuff. Like he's a real big coding guy. That guy knows like 10 languages. You know what I'm saying? So I also go for him and shit for advice. But if you guys have any ideas of games that you want me to make, if you just send them to me, like, you could DM me on Discord now.
Just come up with something original.
It breaks the barrier that you have to do with actual games. Like when it comes to games, you have to do fucking coding, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That breaks that wall down. You don't have to do any of
that. You Latino, bro?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that nigga. Okay. Like the Bronx. You from the Bronx?
Nah. I'm from Boston, but like I've been to New York and I lived around there and shit. But I'm from Boston.
Yeah, you got that New York slang.
Hey, you guys talking about Xbox shit yet?
Oh, well, they have Fatal, and I just want to say, Fatal, I watched the Roundtable podcast yesterday, man, with you and fucking King Fresh, bro. What you guys are going
God. Oh, God. I don't even want to get into that generational thing, dude.
I was asleep, sorry.
You were going at it.
What did y'all two go at it about?
No, we were talking about the whole generational thing, and I was telling them about how this is like the 9th console generation that we're about to go into.
And, that conversation.
And Thrash wasn't getting what I was trying to explain, and I was trying to break it down, but I just wasn't wording it properly, so...
Yeah.
But of course, I had people in the chat, fucking doing their slander bullshit, but they don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about either, so they're just stupid, but... I mean, whatever. It's all good. I'm kidding.
That guy in the chat, Rated D. Is he from that YouTube channel, Rated D?
Yeah, that's Rated D.
Yeah. Almighty Rated D is awesome, dude.
Yeah,
you want to know a funny story? It was Rated D that helped make the PlayStation Legion. Like, he had Sony Legion going on last gen, but I didn't really have like a group. I just did my own thing, But I did find groups of gamers that eventually would form the real PlayStation Legion. But, he wanted me to have the name, and I was like, bro, they're going to tease the fuck out of us if we call our shit the Sony Legion. So, I said, let's do PlayStation Legion, and, that's what we did, bro. But Rated D, bro, I knew him for years, since last gen, bro. Like, we used to play Uncharted together all the fucking time, bro. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, man, I gotta connect with y'all because I don't know nobody on this platform at all. Like, not really.
It's different sections of this community, I would say. I tried my best to stay away from the other section, but it is what it is. Oh, this is what we have to talk about. I want to hear from Big Money because Big Money.
Run down what topics have you spoken about?
We've talked about why you number 8. Why Adam talks to walls, and number 10,
fuck you.
How long can he talk to a wall without noticing that he's talking to a wall? Okay.
I tell you right now, Joe J, that wall has more common sense than you.
It's fucking true.
Oh, damn.
It's fucking true. Hey, it's true. After the fucking last 2 weeks.
Damn, you guys talking about the Xbox shit? Damn it, that's why I want to come in here.
This is what I want to talk about. Big Money, you're up, bro. We don't normally put you on a spotlight, but sales have came in. These are the sales. I want to know if it's good. I'm gonna have a little fucking going back and forth with you, and I think I'll go back and forth with Adam about this also.
So let me go over the sales.
This is Code Vein. Sold 1 million copies on 3 platforms. Outer Worlds, 2 million copies on 3 platforms. Neo, 3 million copies in 3 years on 2 platforms. Is that good?
I told you last night with Outer Worlds.
You talking about far as them all together? Like
on multiple platforms, these games have sold less than 5 million, less than 4 million.
Yeah, I don't. That's not good to me.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so Code Vein was on 3 platforms and only sold 1 million. This is what I'm trying to say. I've been saying this for a long time. Just because you have platforms that game could be played on doesn't mean that platform is gonna fucking buy it. Why did you put Code Vein on Xbox? That is a Demon Souls. Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds got snubbed by Game Pass. Curse you!
What do you mean?
It had like 2 million sales, something like that.
Yeah.
No, Outer Worlds was Game Pass.
So 2 million of those sales for Outer Worlds is just PC.
No. That 2 million is still the 2 million of people that bought that game. And again, like I said to you yesterday, I'm kind of surprised that game only sold that much. That game should have sold way more. Like
2 million is a lot. Time out. 2 million for a budget game like fucking Outer Worlds, man. Believe me, Obsidian is beyond happy with that.
No.
You guys, that's the thing. $1 million for Code Vein, right?
Right now, though, you saying that, Jay? What did I say yesterday about that? Did I not say Obsidian will be happy about that?
I'm wondering how much. I'm wondering how much Outer Worlds is going to sell when it finally gets to the Switch.
Got delayed, right?
Yeah, it got delayed because of the coronavirus.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, the development team that's porting it to the Switch is in the epicenter of it in Wuhan.
Yeah, that makes
So,
Man, you know what I'm trying to? Is it really getting that bad over there? Is it really getting that bad in China over there? Because like, damn.
yeah, they are under quarantine.
Yep.
It's quarantine
Yeah.
aspect.
Yo,
And a lot of the
When I heard about
businesses
this
are
coronavirus,
closing.
dude, I thought it was talking about the beer. That's what I thought it was.
Yo, yesterday that it was actually the first death in America for the coronavirus. Yesterday.
Well, no,
First
the first
Where was it at?
Where was it at?
American. No, the
Yeah, the
first
first American.
American
Yeah,
died in
China, right?
China from it.
Oh, in China.
And
Oh, okay.
the first Japanese. Those are the
Thank
two
God I
first
fucking
foreigners.
hibernate.
But over here in Jersey, we got a couple of
Yeah,
infected
the
people from a
whole,
cruise ship.
So that's what.
it's also.
So they make the PlayStation systems over there in China, right? Don't they make them in
the
China?
manufacturing, yeah.
It's all to
Like
do with
a lot of.
it's all to do with quarantine. That's the thing that's slowing
Yeah.
it down. They're quarantining people, making sure that they are safe. It's not a sense of they're ill, it's a sense of making sure that no one else gets fucking ill. Like, quarantine you guys, don't worry
Yeah.
about work, want you to be safe, and then afterwards...
Let me ask y'all a question. If it get any worse over there, and by the time the PlayStation 5 come out, is y'all still gonna buy a PlayStation 5 if it get any worse over there?
I think it's gonna get better.
I'm gonna hold my horses. Tell you the truth.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I think it'll be alright. No,
No, because they said the way that you spread that virus is by sneezing and all that.
Oh,
No, they're not. They're saying it's by touch. They're saying it's by touch.
It's flu virus, man.
The site I went to, I'm not saying that site is wrong, but the site I went to, it's many ways they said, but one of the main ways they said on this site that I was looking at is they said it's by sneezing.
Well, let me put it this way. Let me put it to you this way,
Don't
Big
do that,
Money.
bro. Don't scare me,
Right
man.
now, okay, Big Money. Right now, the Switch is having issues because it's being produced there, and Japan is having a shortage from Switches, certain games, and Ring Fit Adventure because the factories, due to the quarantine, is shut down.
Oh,
people cannot leave their house.
Don't say that. See that?
No, I'm being no. You gotta know.
They're coming for you.
They have it shut down, and Nintendo has issued apologies to people in Japan due to the shortage. That's the reason Outer Worlds is delayed for the Switch because they had to close down due to the quarantine.
Yes.
It's bad over there.
Yo,
and here's my thing. This is my whole thing. I don't give a shit how long shit has to be quarantined. My thing is, let's get this virus eradicated because I still got shit to play. Okay? I mean, and that's the thing. Let's get this virus. Let's get rid of this virus and make sure these people are safe. Because granted, yes, it's fucked up that shit is getting pushed back, but right now we need to think about it on the humanity's sake instead of ourselves.
Exactly, I agree.
I mean, I've been seeing it a lot of times.
That's why I'm hibernating.
A lot of people have been posting this up in the sense of there are more people there. Like again, with this flu virus, more people die from the fucking common flu than what they have with this fucking thing.
And right now it's not they've changed the name of it. It's now called the novel coronavirus pneumonia.
Yes. That's a fucked up mix. No, I mean, the mix that I know of.
It's a virus.
They said when it first came out was kind of like a pneumonia type virus. Then it's
like a flu virus.
Yeah, it's like a
cold,
flu also.
like sneezing, and then there's
it's killed more people. And it's mutated from what it was, a base of a SARS virus, and it's killed more than the SARS virus has.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's
Stuff like that.
30,000 people infected over there.
Man,
we were talking about China, by the way. The population of China is fucking big. They are clammed into living conditions like that. You got to understand that as well. They are literally like fucking clammed in like close proximities. So of course, spreading that virus is pretty much fucking easy to do. You know what I mean? Like,
but see, my thing is, and I don't know nothing about how germs work. If that thing, like, let's say it's something like that,
If someone
let's for an example, coughed on somebody, coughed on one of the PlayStation 5, they transferred. Like, how does that work? Do they clean that stuff before it comes over here when they ship it?
Even if they clean it and ship it, most viruses have an incubation period where it's active for a certain amount of time. Usually, I haven't heard of anything.
You really trying to scare the shit out of me? Goddamn!
I haven't heard. Well, guess what? I'm telling you shit so that you might understand something, so you can live. And this is with anything.
Big Money. We need you to do more cardio so you can run away from the zombies, man. They said people are coming back to life.
Hey,
coming for you.
Hey, Big Money Man, you and I will die fucking proudly of being a big, heavy set kind of person when it comes to the zombie apocalypse, man. I got your back.
I mean, but you.
Hey, what said I was big and heavy?
Let me tell you something. I'm short and fat. The only thing we got to do is run faster than the slowest person. Okay. Now, I might be short and fat, but damn well I am not going to be that last person.
Okay, so we can confirm now. We can also
make sure you have me running behind you there, Big Money Man.
Okay.
Or not Big Money there,
real quick though.
Snow Bunny.
Real quick, did y'all hear that it also delayed that game show in Tide Pod?
Yes.
You guys hear about that?
Yes.
I was mad about that one. About that one. Yeah.
That shit was crazy, bro. I was like, oh man. All these, and it was
from what I've gathered, I said this to McNeil over the week, right? Again, when they stated it as like a global fucking thing, you know, from the World Health Service organization, I think it was like within the 4 to 5 days they came out and talked about vaccinations, because obviously it's a virus. It's not, you know, you can't cure it with antibiotics. You can obviously suppress certain symptoms, but it's one of the things that you literally just have to wait for it to just die down in your body. You just have to wait for it to get flushed out. But when they announced that with WHO, that's what they're called, multiple countries have come together to formulate the aspects of getting out a vaccine for the actual thing, and in which I think they did mention that they've got a couple of them at the ready, but they are waiting to go. They're waiting to go into animal testing to then go to human subjects, which again could take a few months. So, I mean, it probably would be eradicated by like summertime, something like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it can't affect, game delays or consoles, being sold.
Okay, this is what I wanted. There was a rumor. I want to cover this because people cover rumors. Don't. Again, take this with so much salt that you will have a fucking heart attack, okay? Okay, we're hearing that the rumor for the announcement of the PS5 will be, I believe, early March. It kind of matches up because
y'all are getting like Nintendo with the Nintendo rumors, y'all.
Oh no, okay.
Hey, the shit.
You know what killed me is that I be hearing Jay talk about how fucked up rumors are. Did this motherfucker come out and talk about the rumors?
Hold on. Let me say the website before you guys jump on me. You know I don't even.
It don't make no difference. You don't talk about it because you said it's crazy.
Okay, that's the reason why I want to say it now. Big Money and Snow Bunny. This is why I want to say it. Hold on. The reason why I want to say it is before other people start to try to put it out there that it's real next week, which they will in their other podcasts. I want to let you guys know right now it is a rumor and you probably shouldn't believe it. I stopped taking information from PlayStation University or Universe last gen. Like, they burned my channel a lot with fake information. This is what they're saying that they're hearing from a credible source. But again, if you see anything from PlayStation Universe or sometimes Push Square, they regurgitate the same thing throughout the day, the same exact article. The rumor is, this is what they said 37 minutes ago. The PS5 reveal will reportedly take place in early March alongside the launch of the console pre-orders.
Congratulations.
I want everybody to know that you shouldn't listen to this if you hear it from other podcasts.
It sounds crazy today.
No, Jay, here's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you in general. I'm talking about all these damn rumors coming out from all these different sources.
Yeah.
Are y'all beginning to get like Nintendo rumors? Oh, right now the rumor is we're having 2 directs here. Then there's a rumor of the whole. There was, and I'm not even gonna mention who the YouTuber is, but they was doing this whole fucking series on the Switch Pro. That was supposed to be released, and no, they were doing this shit for like 2 fucking months, every week, every day, doing shit.
I don't think did we cover that? I knew that was fake, so I don't think we really covered.
Okay, then Full Coward came out and said there's no plans for the Switch Pro in 2020. What I'm saying is Sony, y'all getting like Nintendo fanboys here with all these these PlayStation rumors for when the PlayStation getting announced.
Yeah,
it's like 1 month he said, "Oh, it's going to be a direct this month for Nintendo." Sony, oh, they're going to announce it this month. Then when the month come and go, oh, it's coming out this month coming up. It's the next month.
People are so hooked on the whole fucking February thing because of PS4. I said this yesterday. If they were to announce this console, they were to reveal, it would be before GDC, because at GDC you got developers showcasing games behind closed doors or maybe to public eye, and there might be some slips of, saying, oh yeah, this console can do this, oh, this console can do that, yes, they are running on this sort of hardware. And it could be, again, I'm with Snowball on this. A lot of people, like Colt Eastwood and the RDX boys, talking about their special sauces, where it'll be a fucking Chipotle sauce. I'll burn their ass later on.
Hey, don't hate, don't compare Chipotle sauce to those artards. What the fuck?
He said Chipotle.
Y'all can leave my boys alone.
Chipotle sauce is the shit, bro.
Yeah, man, I mean,
I mean, that's the thing, and it's like I said, I'm used to hearing people scream about Nintendo with every month saying all the same thing. PlayStation dudes, y'all starting to sound like Nintendo boys here now.
100%.
No, you know what's trippy? What I'm saying about Jay is that he's telling people don't listen to these rumors, but his excuse is he gonna tell you about the rumors so you don't listen to the rumors.
Exactly. No, I want you to know. I want people to know.
If you don't get that mind trick shit out of here, that's he gonna tell you not to listen to the rumor, but he gonna tell you about the rumor before anybody else say so. He can tell you not to listen.
You know what not to listen to. You know this is not real. Look, if you don't have a date, you shouldn't listen to it.
Don't believe it.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. If we don't have a confirmed date from the company, nobody should believe any of these rumors. That's what I'm really trying to lay down. Look, it's the same with Nintendo.
Y'all got to, but still, but I understand what y'all be talking about, man. But rumors are a part of what we do, man. Like it's okay to talk. And me personally, I know y'all don't like quote unquote talk about rumors, but me personally, I don't care if people talk about rumors because everybody talk. Well, that's like part of the shows of what we do. We wouldn't even have half shit to talk about. We don't talk about rumors.
You know what my sources said, Big Money? You know what my sources tell me?
Oh shit.
That PlayStation is going to reveal that shit when they're ready to reveal it.
There you go. I like that.
There it is.
That's what my sources tell me, bro.
That's a great source right there. That's a great fucking source.
For me, man, I just can't wait for both these consoles.
That's the greatest source I've ever heard.
These things off so that most of Twitter can shut the fuck up. Because once they release these specs, right? I cannot wait to see the landscape of Xbox fans and PlayStation fans to see what actually they can talk about next. Yeah. Because the way I see it, Xbox fans, I can see them, I see the Xbox Series X being more powerful than the PS5. I think that's true. But when it happens, right, I can still see Xbox fans talking about hardware over their actual fucking games, whereas PlayStation, even though they have the weaker hardware, they're going to be talking about the games that actually fucking matter. So, it's going to be really funny to see this happen. I can't wait.
Matter? That's debatable.
Look, all I'm going to say right now, though, is when you have studios like Sony Santa Monica and even Insomniac and of course Naughty Dog, we can have the weaker hardware all we want, but it's the
We've
studio.
always had the weaker hardware, though, haven't we? Like, I
Hey,
mean,
you're right. And you know what? Remember. I'm sorry,
Weakest
Adam.
hardware
Let
for
me
sure.
get out right quick. Remember when we was talking about Sony getting studios like 2 weeks ago, Jay?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be a fanboy on this one. It's one studio I really wish that Microsoft didn't get, and that's the studio that we were just. Damn, I forgot the name of them. That fucking quick.
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory. I really wish that's a Sony studio, man. Like I really wish they would have got them, man. I hated it. I know it sounds crazy me saying that I hate that it went to Xbox, but I really wish that they would have.
Well, you know, their first game was originally on the OG Xbox as an exclusive OG Xbox game, right? Before they were known as Ninja Theory.
You know what's the thing? I feel what he's saying because I feel like PlayStation would do more with it. Like if PlayStation got Ninja Theory, they would do way more with it. That's what I think he's trying to say.
They when they came out with that bullshit ass game they coming out with now, I'm not saying. Well, I don't want to say it's a bullshit game, but I think it's gonna be a bullshit game. Ninja Theory is not known for making games like that, man. A fucking.
Hold on. Are you talking about
Bleeding Edge to big money? Ninja Theory don't make games like that.
Wait a minute.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
You gotta think about. You gotta think about what was going on with Ninja Theory before Microsoft acquired them. I was reading an article where they were talking with one of the owners of Ninja Theory before they sold it to Microsoft. They were going under. All of the owners had refinanced their houses and stuff trying to stay in business. So what they did was split into 3 different teams, and each team was making something different. One team was doing Hellblade, another team was doing what's now Bleeding Edge. That's the reason it's so close to being so close to being done, how they were able to acquire them and it's almost out. Yep. So there was 3 different teams working in Ninja Theory before Microsoft acquired them. Because they were trying to get as many games out to try to save their company.
And to keep afloat,
Like I was saying this earlier on about.
I'm just saying in they past they don't seem like we don't know them for making games like Bleeding Edge.
Big money. Have you ever seen what Kung Fu Chaos looks like?
No, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen what that game looks like, Big Money?
Oh, no, I haven't seen it. Can you hear me?
You might want to go take a look because they have made games like this before in the past.
How many games have they made like this before?
Chaos. Okay, so you got Kung Fu Chaos. Devil May Cry is quirky like that with fucking over the top combos.
No, that's not like that. You trying to say Devil May Cry is like
no, actually yes, because you know where the actual inspiration for fucking Bleeding Edge came from?
Devil May Cry.
Exactly. New DMC. That's where the idea came from because the woman that's in charge of that game, I forget what her name is, she's the one that designed that combat. And she took that and wanted to make an actual multiplayer-centric game.
Fatal, are you really trying to tell me that Devil May Cry and Bleeding Edge are like similar games?
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm saying that's where the actual combat idea for.
Okay, but what I'm saying is what we know from Bleeding Edge to do is games like you just mentioned, Devil May Cry. Games like that. I'm talking about campaign-driven games. I'm not talking about games like that. We don't know them from making games like Bleeding Edge. Everybody
and we don't know Obsidian for making games like Grounded.
Well, I don't even know what the fuck Grounded is.
Let them try something new. Let them try something new.
Go look up.
Grounded is Honey Shrunk the Kids.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you look at Grounded, and you look at every single thing that Obsidian has ever made in the past, even under their old studio, Black Owl Studios, they never made games like that before. So the fact that they're now allowed to take that risk to make something brand spanking new that's out of their league, I say fucking go for it.
I'm happy about the game, right? It's different to have a game like that with combat only and not guns. But I don't think that the Xbox community is going to appreciate it.
The thing is, though, we're talking about the games that they make, right? You know, when it
comes
to
a game like that, they came over to PlayStation, JayTech? Would you like to
people on
raise?
PlayStation still
would
wouldn't
I
care
go
for
out
it
my
either.
way to buy it?
People on PlayStation still would not give a fuck for it either, man, because all they care about is fucking story-driven narrative games.
But that's
Those are
what
the
I'm
games
saying.
that sell the
See, that's
most
what I'm saying.
on the PlayStation side.
Yo, real quick, I got a
take
question.
the chance
What
on
we
it.
want.
Yo, real quick, I got a question. So I was talking to my boy or whatever, and he's over here telling me that single player games are dying.
That's funny.
Yo, I laughed, bro. He said that, and I laughed. He was on the phone. He's like, I don't see what's funny. I'm
Outer
like, are you
Worlds sold
serious?
2 million.
Bro,
Anybody that says that single player games are
if
dying
single player
have never
games
fucking
could
been.
die, and then like
Yeah, they haven't been gaming
Pokemon
long.
wouldn't be selling
They haven't been
16
gaming
million.
long.
bro, I told him that. I was like, yo, there's so many games out there that are single player that are selling millions and millions like crazy, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, I will give props to Sony though for finally actually breaking that mold and actually making a single player game that can sell past fucking 5 million.
What game was that? Oh, a lot.
All the ones that came out this generation.
Right, but,
yeah.
Just gonna say right now, I've uploaded a picture in the Discord, right? This is what I got on the 8th of February. That's the shit that I got from an Xbox fan.
Hold on, let me go see what you're talking about. So.
Oh, I need to hear
I
this.
seen
I
it.
need to hear this, Adam.
Said, you want me to read it? $60, 1 week worth single player only cinematic movies to finish in a week, and wait 6 months till the next one. Versus $10 Game Pass with 300 games included. All
Is this guy promoting Game Pass?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Tell him to go fuck himself.
Like, why do Xbox fans feel that they have to be PR? Like, why do they have to?
This is where I don't understand, Jay, man. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, like, this is what scares me, right? Because, like, look, I am an advocate person that actively uses Game Pass literally every month, but I never promote it on my channel. Mm-hmm. I never actually tell people or convince people to not buy games and only go through that service. You will never see me do that because that just makes me look like a fucking retard, like Colt Cockwood fucking does all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
And third and most importantly, fucking, what right do I have to sit there and force people to get into a service, right? The people that don't even want to use a fucking goddamn service. That's ignorant. So when I see motherfuckers on the Xbox side, these blatant dumb fucks, like Colty's cock and all those other dumbass motherfuckers, sit there and talk all this shit about that service, it pisses me off because they're giving that service a bad fucking name.
Well, no, but here's the thing about this whole service aspect, because again, I always get this aspect where, like, oh, I've signed up, right? You know, when they first do it, right, and they obviously it's dead ass cheap. But then afterwards, I always get the people that say, oh, they took out the money for the next fucking month of Game Pass. Why the fuck are they doing this? Like, they get real pissed off because of it. It's like because you subscribe to it. That's what it is.
There you go.
Subscription service.
That means you don't have no say-so of what games they add or what games they take.
What's called again, Fail. I don't know if you read this. Again, gamesindustry.biz, right, put out an article on Friday, right, and I put it in the Discord for people to read, right, and they spoke about how basically what Game Pass is, and so like they spoke about like the aspect of what Xbox are trying to do for next generation, and their actual true competitors. In this sense, their true competitors are not fucking Amazon and Google. If they are, you have downgraded your competition by a fucking massive margin. Not in the sense of money, because yes, they do get a lot of money, but it's more in the sense of you're talking about two fucking companies that have one that's barely dipped their toes into the fucking process of it, which is Amazon. They've spoken about it for years, but they haven't technically done it. And then Google right now is in a shit show of a fucking launch with Stadia, and no one can say, "Oh, it's actually doing well." No, it's not. It's fucking bad. It's terrible. They like anything Google related, like with Stadia, it's always going to be there's always a negative from what I've seen. And
you know, I'm glad that you mentioned that there, Adam, because fucking what was it there back in 2018? You had Dick Spencer there fucking coming out and saying like like other areas of competition they're going to be going into gaming wise. So when this news broke out like over the weekend or last week, whatever the case may be, about Sony and like Nintendo not being in competition anymore as their main, and main being the valuable word here, they're still going to compete with them. We're just not looking at them as the main competition no more.
Yes.
And why not? Why would Microsoft sit there, right? When even before they even made this statement, you can already see that they were shifting gears out of that competition aspect for a while now. For a long while now. So all this is doing for them is, they're still going to compete in the consoles market space, but they're not looking at that as their main source of income anymore. You know what I mean? They want to push this xCloud crap, and they want to get ahead of the curve. They see that Stadia is failing horribly right now.
Yeah.
Amazon is probably eventually going to come out with their own actual streaming service eventually down the road because they're starting to get their studios to make games right now. You know, like that. What's that new game that's coming up from Amazon Studios there?
Yeah.
They announced it one of the events for something World or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, they've been talking about this for a long time. Though. Amazon, I think it's like 2 or 3 years. They've been talking about getting into the console aspect, right? Not console, but gaming aspects. And it's it's 2020, and they still haven't done anything. They are still within the dark.
No. They want their main competition to be in the streaming cloud aspect of things.
Yeah, of course.
Because when you read the original article, right? This is what I was trying to explain to Thrash the other day. When you read everything from Microsoft and Google to Stadia, or Google and fucking Amazon and Facebook, all that shit like that, they were all mainly talking about the cloud aspect. And that's when, and I hate to say this because I'm not trying to defend fucking douchebag Phil here, but all I'm going to say just for Clarence, though, man, when you really analyze that article and you really read through it, all he's basically saying when he's talking about Sony and Nintendo being out of position, or slightly out of position, is because they don't have the luxury of having their own cloud service. Yes, there's PS Now, but that's not a service that Sony built from the ground up like Microsoft has with the Azure cloud.
No.
You know what I mean? And most people, in PS Now is just strictly for one thing. Like that cloud service is strictly just for PS Now. Whereas Microsoft's going to be using, they're going to be using the Azure cloud as more than just gaming itself as a whole. And so that's why they're focusing on that and making shifts towards that. Now, I don't want to see gaming ever become mainstream as far as streaming goes, because to me, that's it. I'm out. I'm no longer going to be supporting gaming after that point. That's the only way we're going to be able to play games through streaming. Fuck out of here with that shit.
When it comes to streaming, I understand it's a fucking thing, but I think of streaming as if it's like VR, right? It's that niche thing that will happen and it will be around, but it will not overtake what you fundamentally have.
Yeah, I hope it never does. I pray that it never does.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna roll this motherfucking thing back because I heard these guys talking about it, in the stream earlier, right?
Yeah, sorry, Jay, for going back to that topic.
Let's roll this shit back. When Don Matrick got fucking fired, right? What did Phil have to do what did Phil have to do with tell Nadella when Nadella came in and said, "Hey, listen, the Xbox division, I'm thinking about shutting it down," because that actually happened. Nadella was thinking about closing the fucking Xbox division down. Phil, in this sense, pleaded with Nadella to give him time to turn it around, in which he did. But whilst that was happening, whilst Phil was conjuring up backwards compatibility, Game Pass, and stuff like that, finding ways for Microsoft to, in some sense, look at Xbox and go, all right, you know what, we're not going to do this, right? Nadella was fundamentally looking at the Azure project, right? And as we all know, since last year, they made a deal with Sony. Now, when it comes to that specific deal, it blew over a lot of people's heads as to what this actually means. And obviously, a lot of people are like, oh, Sony bent the knee, this and that. But what you should be thinking of and what you should be concentrating on is the factor of Nadella's made the most smartest move possible. And it was stated in this article that I read from Games Industry. And it is as simple as this. If Microsoft, see Xbox fail to bring in numbers for the Azure project, to show that the Azure project is fundamentally nourished, right? They will gladly allow PlayStation to win so that they can shift focus on their numbers and bring them into the Azure project instead. They are basically using Xbox division as a fucking cage for the Azure fucking service. And it's funny to me because Xbox fans don't want to talk about this sort of narrative. They don't want to talk about the factors of that's what Azure's going to be. They like the fact of streaming and all that bits and bobs, stream wherever you want to be, but they're not. Again, there's so much that when it comes down to it, it's. I was talking about there's so in my head it's all kerfuffled, right? But the way I said it yesterday was that Xbox, right, this generation, and I've asked everyone this question, have Xbox been able to balance everything that they've got everything that they've got right now, have they been able to balance it in great terms?
No.
The answer to that is no. So what makes you think they're going to be able to balance the increased load that they're going to be getting next generation? They won't.
I know, right?
They are going to be slipping. There's going to be a lot of bad turns for that just in general. And fundamentally, I don't give a shit what Xbox fans think. They are not going to be able to balance any of that shit.
You and me both. I cannot fucking stand the Xbox side of the community.
And again, all the things that Xbox have right now has to be tended to every fucking day. Not every week or month. It's every day. Whereas PlayStation, they don't. They're like, they have to tend to their studios, but they haven't got services. They haven't got this and that. They haven't got, again, consoles, right? You buy the PS5 to get the brand new games, right? A traditional outlet of how they conceive or how they look at gaming console. And again, I've been saying this for weeks now. Xbox are not thinking traditional aspects of consoles.
Yeah.
They are untraditional.
Yep.
Whereas PlayStation are keeping it simple. They're making sure that when PS5 comes out, there is no confusion to what they are trying to do as a message. Whereas Xbox, they're like, you can get Game Pass, you can get the xCloud, you can get this console, that console. And it's like, to an average consumer, how do you put that into a message where people are like, okay, I can get this? It's not like that. And again,
you know what's sad though, Adam? You know what's really fucking sad? Is the fact that when I see people all the time, whether it be on like forums, on Twitter, or whatever the case may be, talking about Game Pass and so on and so forth, they're actually legit going to be buying into either a PC rig for next gen or going to be buying the Series X because of that fucking service, and that scares me. And I mean, this is coming from a person that actively uses that service. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: I don't know why people still get upset with people that purchase a game after they play it or rent it, whatever the case may be. I grew up in that era. That's what I used to always do when I was a kid. That's never going to change. That's never going to change for me. So people that find that weird, hey, that's fine. I respect that opinion, but it is what it is. But when I see people sit there and say, I'm going to buy an Xbox for next generation, I'm going to buy the Series X, and I'm only going to be fucking, just because of Game Pass.
Yeah,
that scares me.
And again, like with what we're talking about, it kind of revolves around what happened with Rod Ferguson, right? I'm not saying it in a bad way, but Rod Ferguson, right? I said this yesterday, right? When it comes to Rod Ferguson, right, he left Coalition to join Blizzard, right? When I looked at that, first thing that came through my head was, why would you leave a company that's in great standing in some sense with their fan base, right? It's not as bad as Blizzard. That's what I'm putting it as, right? He's gone and left Coalition, which is in a better standing right now than what Blizzard is, right? Blizzard have gone from controversy to now with the Warcraft 3 aspect, where again they talked up, when they pitched the idea of Warcraft 3, and the ideas that were behind it isn't what the game has got on the launch game. And he's gone from, again, like I'm saying, a stable studio that has an understanding of what they're going to be doing next to a studio that has to be fixed. And I'm like, why would he go from that to that? And also to the sense, why would he leave Coalition?
Microsoft management, man. It's always been like that. Microsoft management.
Big money. But then again, it says, why would he leave before making Gears 6? Like, finish that game, finish the series off, because that is going to be the final part of the
that kind of, when I saw that, when I woke up the other day and I saw that Rob Ferguson had up and left fucking Coalition, I was just like, well, there goes the Gears franchise, that's out.
Yeah. And again, like,
I'm definitely, don't get me wrong though, Adam, I'm definitely getting Gears Tactics because I've been wanting a strategy type kind of game with the Gears franchise since my older channel.
Yeah.
So my dream finally came true there. But Gears 6
Wait a minute,
forward,
and you know what? I've been hearing people say stuff about I get Cliff that Cliff dude. Did he say something about
to be the advisor?
He offered
yes
to consult.
He said he was done with gaming. He said he was done.
He was done. Yeah, but no. But here's the thing, though. I saw the other day that Cliff Blazinski came out and said like he wants to try to be the advisor for like going forward with Gears franchise. Microsoft, allow him to do that. Please allow him to do that, because when Cliff was in charge back when he was working with Epic and he made Gears 1, 2, and 3, that motherfucker knows Gears.
Yes.
Rob Ferguson was just a second-hand man. You know what I mean?
This
But the thing is, he knows Gears, but the fans hate his guts now. The fans hate his guts now. That's the only thing about that.
I know the fans do, but I still respect Cliffy B. Man, look, when he came out with fucking Lawbreakers, right? Everybody shat on that game. But you know what the funny thing was? That I thoroughly enjoyed that game because that was the closest thing, besides Doom itself, as being closest to a Twitch shooter. And I love Twitch shooter games, man, but they don't work on consoles. That's why that game fucking failed. And on top of that, too, as well, the fact that people call it an Overwatch clone, which it played nothing like it. No. Fucking in that moral sense, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is.
Well, with the thing with Cliffy B is the sense of he tweeted out saying he was wanting to consult with the Gears franchise, right, to finish off theoretically the new trilogy, right? Because you have 4, 5, and 6. This is the new trilogy. This is the end of the new trilogy. Again, it's consulting. It's not making the game. He's just pitching ideas, making sure that they have an understanding of what they're going to be doing in this game. And obviously, again, funny enough, they still haven't replaced Mike Ybarra or Rod Ferguson. They now have to find a replacement for Rod as well.
Get Cliffy B in there. If Microsoft was smart, get Cliffy B in there to advise over the Gears franchise, man. And I guarantee you Gears will be a better series.
That's what I'm trying to figure. That's what I'm thinking about, right? With what he said in the past, would he, again, I'm not saying he wouldn't, but would he fundamentally want
to? Microsoft wouldn't let it go down with the way things went down with him and the fans. That's the only thing that might hold them back from hiring him again is what went down. Because he was explicit with the fans. He was like, fuck y'all.
Yeah, but think of it like this from this perspective, though, Big Money, right? Like, how would you feel? How would you feel, Big Money, right? If you put you come out, you create your own studio, right? And your first big game, right, was trying to do something a little bit different than what, say, Overwatch is. And then your game comes out, and and everybody just slams that game. Everybody just slams the game without even giving it an absolute honest try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't, and even Cliffy B even owned up and even admitted that he was wrong for lashing out to fucking fans recently and shit like that.
The only one though.
But at the same time, how would you feel if you made a game? If you put yourself in his shoes, Big Money Man, how would that? You'd be fucking pissed, bro. That you spent this much time getting a studio together, hiring people to work for you, and creating a game that you were passionate about. That everybody just sat there and said your game is fucking garbage. Fuck your Overwatch clone. Yeah, I would lash out myself too as well. You know what I mean? Because if you're thinking about all that, as time goes on, you feel bad for that shit.
But Fado, the thing is, like, I'm there with you 100%. But the thing is, if you're like a high exec at Microsoft and you're worried about the fans, would you hire him on again? With all that, what happened between him and the fans, would you hire him back?
You're damn right I would. I would, yes. Because people get over that shit. Time moves on.
People get over it, not to mention he was the fucking heart behind Gears, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
If people saw him go back into, if people were to see Microsoft make him come back and make him advisor for fucking Gears, that's going to make a lot of Gears veterans happy as fuck, dude. Not pissed off, happy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yo, how do y'all think it's gonna affect Gears? I actually put a video on it. How do y'all think it's gonna affect? Do you think it'll be a negative thing or a positive thing of how it will affect Gears? The next one.
I think it'd be a great thing. Like I said,
you got to understand, it's consulting. It's not making the game. He's not going to be taking charge. He's just consulting in the game.
Yeah,
he will be on the sidelines of these sort of things. He won't be fully in charge. Where whoever is actually in charge of the game will be taking orders from him.
So he's
that person will be giving him orders.
No, I feel you. But
Boca, it's like Rare overseeing the project of Dallas Studios for Battletoads.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't mind that as long as they actually listen to him and not just humor him.
No, like I think the bottom line of this is Microsoft would be fucking dumb to pass off this opportunity because, I've said this already. When it comes to Gears, I have not liked Gears games since 3. 1, 2, 3, I loved them. 4, 5, Judgment, no. I mean, 5 was good. Obviously, it was better than Judgment and 4. But, like, it wasn't as good as what people said it was. Because of the things that they did. It just wasn't. Like, this decision...
No, 5... Okay.
With the bacon?
Here's the biggest problem that I have with Gears, right? Going forward. Adam, you might be able to actually agree with me on this. Gears is kind of like what Sonic is in a way, right? Where, it molded itself in a specific way. that like you really can't change the actual gameplay drastically, or else you're going to lose like if not most of your fan base.
Yeah.
Sonic is the same way too as well. Sonic has some successful 3D perspective ones, but the majority of them are fucking god awful dog shit. Right? And Gears kind of falls in that same kind of trap, man. Like the more you change it, for example, look what happened with Judgment, right? Mm-hmm. When like the throwing animation in Judgment was god fucking awful.
Yeah.
You know, and so now when you move over to 4 was an okay game for what it was, but it wasn't great. It's not there to smash the actual original trilogy. 1, 2, and 3 will forever be the Gears races of the franchise, right? Yeah. But the thing of it is that Gears is so grounded.
That like 4, man.
Look, I even dig 4's campaign for what it was, but that's because
bad,
Jackpot is the shit.
Yeah, like you're judging it off of the original 3. That's how it goes down. So in that sense,
I've only played 3,
but it's not terrible.
Yeah, and 5 isn't the worst Gears game because hands down that's Judgment, but I can see why a lot of people didn't like 5. But at the same time, they made it. They did enough stuff to the game to make it feel slightly, and I'm using the word slightly very loosely here, but slightly fucking different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing. But when you molded that fabrication, right? Like you need those stiff controls, you need the cover system, that kind of cover. That how can you really evolve that?
Yeah,
without drastically changing it to the point where you're going to piss the entire fan base off, and that's the problem that I have with Gears.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean, like, look when they came out with that Gears Funko Pop shit, Gears Pop. Nobody's talking about that. That game died.
Hey, but you know what? You know what I'm thinking? After 6, man, they need to reboot that.
Sorry, Adam.
After they do 6, they need to reboot.
Brand new fucking IP. Don't reboot it. Do a brand new IP.
Yeah, they need to reboot.
Bro, they need to do it.
Now, I will say this about the Coalition, though.
You know,
if that rumor happens to be, sorry, real quick, just so I can get this out real quick, because I'm having some beers, so I don't want to lose my fucking thought here. But real quick though, if the Coalition does end up making a reboot, man, to fucking Perfect Dark, which has been heavily rumored now for a while since they accidentally fucking kind of leaked it on their own website, I'm okay with that. Because not only would that drastically change the fundamental of what Perfect Dark is into a third-person cover shooter game, I want to see where that can go. Because I think that would actually be fucking stellar, man.
Wasn't the Initiative doing that?
And
No. It was leaked on Coalition's webpage a long time ago, and they took that shit off the website. Remember that started a rumor that nothing came out of it?
Okay.
Yeah, because Coalition...
You know what? I've never played that game. I always wanted to play it.
Perfect Dark?
Yeah, I've never played it.
Big money.
What's Perfect Dark?
What?
He said, "What's Perfect Dark?"
Don't troll me like that. Don't troll me like that.
No, not trolling you. I don't know. Maybe I'm young.
He doesn't know Perfect Dark.
Okay, Perfect Dark was originally on the N64, right? And it came out after the actual success of Rare making GoldenEye and shit like that. So Perfect Dark became a thing, but Perfect Dark grew a massive cult following. Massive. You can go back and play like Perfect Dark right now on Rare Replay, or you can download the individual game off of Xbox Game Pass, whatever you want to call it. And I highly recommend that you do, because that game
is even this day. Shooter?
No, it's a first-person game. If you ever play GoldenEye on the N64, they're big money.
Oh, okay. It's like that.
Yeah, Perfect Dark is like that, and it plays just like that, but it's like a obviously different story, different game, different character, Joanna Dark, all that cool stuff. It's one of the best shooter games that you'll ever play. Or at least from that time period. I want to make that clear from that part.
Yeah.
And Perfect Dark, ever since that point, never really had a successful game after that. I mean, Perfect Dark Zero got hated so much, and that was new Rare. That was after Nintendo, and that's when Microsoft bought them out, and most people up and left to go to make Playtonic recently, and also with Retro Studios, that kind of stuff. So Rare's never been the same. That's why everybody hates modern Rare. But that's one franchise that I would really like to see come back, because it definitely deserves a comeback. And I think if somebody were to do it right, at least to reboot it, let Coalition do it. Because I want to see what they can do with that.
I mean, I'd rather that than them just dish out another Gears, unless it's going to be like a completely remade.
Exactly.
Game.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
God of War, you guys already know where I'm going with this, but like the new God of War, how they completely, basically, pretty much changed the entire game and just reinvented the entire game.
I'm glad you brought it up too as well, because I want to see the same thing with 3.3.
God of War's different though.
After Infinite, though, this would be Halo 6 technically. get rid of it, be done with it. Move on to something else. Go make something else. Let 343 shine with their own experience, man.
What I was thinking was they should just take their time, bro, not rush it. Take your time, right? Do Perfect Dark or any other game. Take your time, right? And do like a crazy ass remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. You know, kind of God of War style, the way they did it with that game. Because even in the God of War, the story was different. Because in the God of Wars before, it was about revenge. It was about, you know, your father, all these other elements. But in this one, it's like son and father. It's like a whole different thing. You feel me?
Yo, and I'm glad that Sony took a chance with this remake, with the reboot of God of War 2 as well.
God of War, right? If we're going to talk about God of War and Gears of War, right? When it comes to I'm going to say right now, Gears of War, right? 1, 2, 3 were way popular than God of War 1, 2, 3. Like, based on the sales, based on the popularity of the game, there were more eyes on Gears of War than there were God of War, which made it kind of, in a sense, simple for them to reimagine that game to what it is now and fundamentally change what it was. I've stated this numerous times. I did not like God of War 1, 2, and 3, mainly because it was to do with the character aspects. Like, Kratos was that one-dimensional character that only had one fucking tone. I like the PSP games more because there was less of that and more of other aspects to it. When God of War 2018 came out, it changed a lot of people's minds that did not like God of War for those parts, as which what I just said.
Let me ask you something. All right, when God of War came out, was that game like one of the most unique games of its time, of like the hack and slash type of shit, like the way they did it? Like, I'm talking about specific.
I mean, yeah, based on scale. I mean, it was more to do with based on what it was able to do, like scale wise. Like, you know, when you fought Kronos. Or when you remember the first E3 demo you got of God of War 3, that blew a lot of people away because it was a sense of how fucking big things, like the scale of things whilst fighting, you know, whatever it may be, and the, you know, when you're, you know, for instance, the first part of that game when you're fighting on Gaia and you're fighting Poseidon right off the rip, it was like holy shit. And it was like, again, it was more to do with the aspect of that, the scale. Like, holy fucking crap,
of the battle,
going crazy on this.
No, I feel you. I don't know. I just feel like they had their own unique thing going on. I see what you mean. Maybe you didn't like the character as much, but I feel like, I mean, like, for example, I mean, I don't know, because it was a story of revenge. Like, he killed his wife and his daughter. I mean, he killed his
evolution of the character, right? It was just the same over and over again. Like, I was expecting Kratos to change over the course of these games, the way he dealt with things, but it was the same narrative over and over again.
He did, but
wasn't David Jaffe responsible of those original games too as well, though?
Yep.
With Cory Barlog being his sidekick, and now Cory Barlog took over the franchise.
He did, but not in the way he wanted to, because after he got his like main revenge, he ended up being suicidal. And he tried to kill himself in the other game.
Definitely. There was a game for me that was revolutionary. That was definitely a game changer. And Pedro, you spoke of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when Gears came out. At that time, there was no shooter like it. You know, hop in and out cover like that. But also, like you said,
not the way that it played, but it wasn't the first cover shooter, third person cover.
No, it definitely wasn't. I mean, when you remember Winback? Winback had the cover system, but it was
Winback and stuff. Yeah, and there was also
a fun game. But no, nonetheless, what Cliffy and Rod Ferguson were able to do with that game, because a lot of people don't know history with Gears. Microsoft didn't want the Lancer in the game. They told them it's too violent. But like, now, fuck you. And pretty much they were like, okay,
exactly. Yeah, fuck you.
When it was time to show the game, they showed it, and everybody went apeshit.
That's old school dev. Like, if you say shit about them, like basically like Jaffe and Cliffy B are very similar in the sense of, if you say something bad about their game, they are not going to be like, okay, that's your opinion. They will lunge out at you. That's the old way.
And I like them because of that.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't disagree with like them lunging out at people, because again, they spent time on these things, spent countless hours trying to make these things, and for you to go around and say shit like that without even playing them, it's kind of fucking bullshit. Like, eat it with ease.
I'm sorry, man. I'm finna get up out of here, man. Y'all take it easy. Thanks to everybody. It's almost 5 months.
Big money, man.
I check everybody later.
Okay,
I check y'all later, bro.
I'm about to get out of here too.
All right, sweet.
What's the point again? Like,
I'm gonna go do my own.
Yeah, I gotta hop out soon too as well.
What's cool? I'm just gonna
Man, hey, what's his name? Piano. Damn, Frank. What's in it? Piano. What's her name?
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
Pinnacle. Well, I wasn't trying to be funny either, man. Good luck with your stuff, man. Stay on that, bro. I really want to see you succeed at that, man. I really do. But y'all take it easy, y'all.
Okay.
Yo, take care of yourself, Big Money.
You can hear me?
bro.
I'm here. What happened? What did he say?
He's saying he's basically wishing you best of luck and to stay on it and don't give up on your gaming.
Yeah. Nah, I was plugging in my headset right when he said that, so I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, Pinnacle Man. Yeah, if you want to test it for any of your games, dude, man, you hit me up, dude. I'm down to check. I'll test out.
No, I am. Yo, who is that talker? That's Fatal, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Fatal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will hit you up though because I have at least 2 games I've been meaning for somebody to try. So I'm definitely maybe not within this week because I got some like homework and shit. But in a few weeks, I'm definitely gonna.
Oh, is it PC? It's obviously PC related, right?
Yeah, but I have. It
Ooh.
depends because I have like one game where it's like just a PC game, and then I have another one where I configured it to a PlayStation controller. So you just plug in your PlayStation controller, you can play it like that.
Yeah, because right now I currently am out of commission of a PC at the moment right now, so that probably wouldn't be advised.
I'll give you the controller version then.
All right.
Yeah, what's again Pinnacle? But what was it? When we're talking about Gears, obviously, right? And
yeah.
Going back to the what I was talking about with Azure and Game Pass stuff like that, and how Xbox are looking at themselves, right, as what they're delivering to their fan base. With what they have coming up, right? You got and again, a lot of their games, right, that I've seen thus far have been smaller titles, right? Smaller titles in the sense of how long they take to complete, and so on and so forth. And when they what's it called again? This games industry article with Rod Ferguson, right? I spoke about this yesterday. It says that they spoke to Rod. But in clarification, they actually spoke to Matt Booty. Now, and throughout this whole article, by the way, Matt Booty didn't. He spent probably a couple paragraphs before he started talking about Game Pass, the studios, and the cloud. Nothing. It was so minor about Rod and what he was about, and I found that super fucking sketch. That it was supposed to be about Rod, but it turned out to be about Game Pass, and it was like, what the fuck happened, right? But it was what Matt Booty was talking about, and some of the things that were popping up in my head, as well as the other article from Games Industry Job Biz, which was who their actual competitors are. And again, 2 great reads, especially if you look at it in a certain light. And from what I got from the Rod Ferguson one, is that he spoke about what they're doing with Gears as a universe. This is his words, Gears universe, right? He's treating it as if it's like an MCU thing. And he talked about them doing a film with Universal, which has been talked about numerous times. He then talked about Gears Pop, Gears Tactics, and also all the content that's coming up in Gears of War 5. Didn't mention Gears 6, just talked about what content they got for Gears 5. Now, what this all ringed in, what this kind of gave me, the vibes that this gave me was, it went straight to the aspects of, if you have an Android phone or an iPhone, it's like, I am currently, the way I look at Xbox right now, and going into the next generation, I am currently looking at them as if they are like a higher grade mobile phone with a fucking application. Ouch. And again, my reason behind this is because, one, right, you've got Gears Pop, mobile phone game, right? You've got Gears Tactics, of course it's going to be on console and PC, but it's not like Gears, right? It's a completely different thing, and I'm alright with that.
It's a spin-off.
But again,
it's a spin-off,
you're basically using the Gears name to put this fucking thing out, right? To entice people to play this game. You've then got Hellblade. You've got Project Mara.
To be fair, though, Adam, I've been asking for a strategy type kind of game for a long time in the Gears universe, which everybody thought that I was crazy at the time. Mm-hmm. And now that they're giving me one, I'm sorry, but I'm really excited for it just because I love those types of games.
That's cool. Different strokes, different folks.
Yeah, and like I said, for a spin-off, man. I mean, it's the same when you look at other games too as well.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Me knocking that game, you know what I mean? I'm not knocking that. But again, going back onto it, then you've got Hellblade, right? Or Ninja Theory games, right? You've got Hellblade, it's not going to be like a 20-hour, 25-hour game. It's going to be roughly around 15 to 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've then got Project Mara and then Project Insight, which are smaller things, and Project Insight being one of them. That's more to do with a development and research
virtual reality
to fundamentally later on become a big. Again, this is all these little games that Ninja Theory are working on are fundamentally molding their minds or molding what will eventually be a bigger title game that they'll work on maybe down the line, right? And I'm talking like the final years of this next generation, right? That's that, right? Then obviously you've got Bleeding Edge, a smaller title, right? And then you've got Obsidian with Grounded, another smaller title. And when I looked at that title, the first thing that I thought of was a title that was on the Apple Store. Those sort of titles, right? And same thing with Google Stadia. Again,
I see. Okay.
And I'm seeing all these things that they're making, and I'm just like, it kind of feels like.
Let me ask you something, Adam.
Leaning towards that. I know I'm not. I don't want anyone to take to it. Like again, I know that Xbox fans will take major offense of it, but just.
I'm not offended by it.
But just look at the fucking landscape of how Xbox is changing, and then look at other things around it, and I'm just like, yo, this is actually a straight up a Google Store fucking application store. And
it's funny that you say that. I'm glad that you brought that up because I have to disagree with you on one marital fucking fact. These games, these developers that Microsoft picked up have already been making these types of games now fucking years. For years. Well. Grounded, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw Grounded, I guess in the way you can look at it from the way the art style looks, you can definitely see that playing on mobile. But again, I can see God of War playing on a mobile phone, the way how powerful mobile phones are. So I don't look at mobile side. What I look at is the fact that the first thing that popped into my head were survival aspect games like The Forest and Subnautica, because that's exactly what Grounded is based upon, right?
Yeah.
Now another thing is, when you look at a game like, right, Obsidian is, like, they're mainly known for RPGs, Western RPGs, and very fucking good and effective and efficient at it too as well. Pillars of Eternity. That game is like a 60 to 80 hour game with multiple playthroughs. There's no way in Nebula that game would ever be fucking played on a mobile phone. Most people would never sit there and play that game on a fucking phone for that long. No fucking way. Here's what I look at from this perspective, right? Whatever fucking Ninja Theory is doing, Ninja Theory has always been known to making, like, AA studio type kind of games, right? Yeah. That's what all these studios that Microsoft bought out. And I always see people, not you, Adam, but I'm just speaking in generality here, that I've seen a lot of people in this community sit there and claim that AAA is the only way to go.
Fuck no.
AA games can't be as good. AA games this, fucking, the graphics don't look that very good. Blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, these are the games. These types of, like, from that market itself, from the AA standpoint, I don't have to worry about microtransactions. I don't have to worry about DLC unless it's actual good DLC, like what they're planning on doing for Outer Worlds. I'll take fucking 50 fucking versions of Outer Worlds over anything from a AAA third-party fucking studio any day of the week. Any day of the week. Now, using the whole mobile aspect, I get that aspect, but again, we're so evolved in the actual aspect of technology being so advanced, these phones can technically run games that PlayStation's giving you now without no hindrance whatsoever. You know what I mean? But when you look at a game from an art style perspective, which in this case, Grounded, looks very kiddie. You're dealing with kids, for fuck's sakes. But does that necessarily mean, at the end of the day, that this game is going to be designed for something from a mobile aspect? Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from, and I can easily agree with you on that.
Again, it's just a sense of, like, this all comes down to the service aspects as well, right? And again, with Game Pass, right? A lot of people state this factor of Game Pass, right? You're putting these, like, again, $100 million dollar made games, right? That's how much they cost. They cost fucking millions of dollars to make these sort of games, and you put it on Game Pass for a fucking massive deduction. And
you are, but I consider the same thing for services like GameFly, though. And GameFly's been around since 2002, and it's still popping to this day.
Fundamentally, right, that will eventually decline. I'm not saying it like all their games, right, but
Yeah.
I will start to see the quality of their game studios decline, or what they make decline. And that's what they do, right? With Gears, they made Gears 5, right? But they're making Gears Pop and Tactic. Not saying they're bad games, not saying they're crap games, whatever. It's just, again, they're going from a big AAA game to like a strategic game to then a pop mobile game. And then, again, they're focusing on the content end of Gears 5. And again, they haven't talked about what they might be doing next, or they could be doing Gears 6. It's just a sense of, it's just.
Oh no, they still update. They still update. Like they have a new operation that comes out every.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're focusing on. This in 2020. That's what they're going to be focusing on. They don't want to talk about Gears 6 right now, or whatever it may be, because.
Well, yeah, the game just came out last year.
They're focusing on tactics, pop, and so on and so forth. And it's just, again, like. This all comes down to like the aspect of like I've watched a few podcasts of Cole and them lot talk about their thing, and also I see them guys talk about it on Twitter numerous fucking times, all the shit they bring out, and it's just like they talk about hardware more than anything. Yeah, they don't put major focus on their games and their companies and so on and so forth. Because in which I don't know why they should be doing that, but I don't see them talk about it near as much. But I've been saying, it's just looking at it right now with Game Pass. I understand it's great for consumers, of course it is, but within the next few years or within the next generation, if you start to see something decline in the sense of what you're getting. That's going to be a thing that you all should be pointing to, because,
there's also a downfall of that, though. There's also a major downfall of that. Okay, and I'll give you the situation with Netflix, right? Netflix, when they started coming out with their exclusive like TV shows and like movies and stuff like that, they weren't all great, right? And a lot of people were pissed off about that. But as the years went on, they were losing a lot of actual fucking support for that. They were losing a lot of actual, outside from money-wise, of course, but we already know that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the moment that these people start to see this decline in these quality of games and so on and so forth, and they start fucking making like stupid, dumb decisions like that, a lot of people are going to exit that service. Microsoft isn't going to allow that. They're not going to do that.
But you see,
what I mean? And that's the number one biggest downfall with that. Though. It doesn't matter if you pay $1 to get in there. That's irrelevant to the point.
Here's the thing, though, man. Here's the thing. Because this kind of revolves back around me talking about Microsoft balancing shit, right? I think that's going to happen. I think there will be. I'm not saying it's going to go straight down the fucking toilet. I'm talking about it's going to be like a roller coaster. It's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. They're not going to be able to give their fan base of Game Pass what they want every fucking time. But They won't
be able to sustain that. They won't be able to sustain that.
Like I'm saying with the whole balancing aspect, right? It's here's the thing, right? When Phil's talking about like the future of streaming and how that's going to be the brand new thing, right?
Yeah.
And as fans know, that's not right now. That's going to take years to happen, right? So within that gap before it actually becomes that thing that Phil's talking about, you're having to this is how I pictured. This is how I said it. You're going to have to fend off. You're going to have to make sure and prop up like all these things, and make sure that Microsoft don't see these fucking like these holes, because again, like you're like I'm saying, like you've got. It's not streaming's not as what you want. Like it, obviously, I understand what Phil's trying to do. Like streaming can potentially be this thing, but from now to that point, you're gonna have to basically you're gonna have to what's the word?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like
you're gonna have to give Microsoft a reason, and you're gonna have to make it's the sense of like. You're gonna
like strategies.
Like I'm saying, you're gonna have to balance all these things for all that whole period of time, right? Without flopping. And again, with Microsoft, and they're the sort of company, if they see something slip or something not going right or something like that, right? They will eventually, right? They'll be like, "Oh shit, that's not good." So again, it's a sense of like you have, even though you're talking about this thing, this streaming thing. later on becoming this grand finale, this grand thing, right?
I hope to God that it doesn't, man.
You have this massive fucking gap where anything could happen, anything could go wrong, and it could be your ass within Microsoft. And that's this is the reason why I talked about how Nadella is using Xbox's division as a cage for the Azure software, because it's simple to take that out and throw away that case or cage, and then go, hey, PlayStation, you're our new cage, and you can generate the numbers for us. You can do X, Y, and Z for us. And again, like I said earlier on, that's why I'm looking at that deal in that narrative where Nadella is smart in the way Nadella is smart in the way of thinking, if Xbox fails to give us those numbers, hey, we've got Sony. We can use their numbers. And again, Nadella knows that PlayStation are at, 105 million units, right? They've got a massive install base. So why would you risk this Azure, software with 50 million units install base, or that install base, when you could have a bigger one right there? And again, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, right? Xbox fans like to bring up this number. 5 to 7 billion. Want to reach those people. Well, every person that's replied to these numbers have all stated what? How do you do that? Bingo. Mobile phones. And like I stated earlier on, right? That's another reason why I'm looking at what Xbox are doing right now with Game Pass. Why I think of them as like a mobile application store, because if you want to,
that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
If you want to reach 5 to 7 billion people, that's a mobile phone scheme plan, not a console.
Well, that's why they're putting Game Pass into the infrastructure of xCloud. That's what they want to push.
And again, and when again, it's a sense of, like I said, it revolves back around to the games that they've kind of announced already. Those smaller.
I get that. I totally understand that, and I can respect that.
And again, they will have those bigger titles like Halo Infinite and whatever Initiative are working on, Forza and whatever, right? They will have those big titles.
Fable.
But I see more smaller titles coming out than those big ones.
Oh, no, and you will. And I get you, and I guarantee you will, because if you look at the studios and you look at their history, they make a lot of budget titles. Good ones, mind you, but at the same time, I can definitely see where you're coming from that aspect too as well, for sure. Definitely. Absolutely.
And again, see, that's the thing, right? And like, I said it to these guys numerous times with this, this article that I read. Like, GamesIndustry.biz are probably the only people that I would actually read an article of, because the people that write those articles are actually really good. They are intelligent. They are very involved in what happens within the industry. Whereas if you get like an article from IGN or GameSpot, I'm not degrading like their profession, but like they're clickbaity. They want in some of the shit that they say is kind of it's a bit controversial in some sense, depending on the fan. But during this article, man, it was just a sense of it's a two-directional thing. And it's a sense of you've got the long, narrow road and you've got the short road. And when it comes down to what Xbox are leading themselves into for the next generation, it to me looks towards the aspect of all the things that they've been doing this whole generation, like molding certain things, making it in the sense of how would I put it? Fuck. What did I say? It's a sense of, like I mentioned earlier with Nadella. After Phil played with Nadella to keep the Xbox division around, everything that Phil has said over the past few years has basically been, and this is market talk, right? If you're in marketing and stuff like that, it's a term that they use, which is lip service. It's basically talking dirty, it's talking good to investors to basically say, hey, listen, don't cut us. We are a bit, we can be a big factor to what you're doing in the future. Please just don't do it. Please don't cut us. We'll do anything. And Phil has kept this up for so long. But like I said, I can't see Phil keeping this up for the amount of time that for the amount of time to the point where streaming actually becomes that thing that he's talking about within this week's articles. And I've stated this already. End of next generation, he is leaving Xbox. There is no way that guy is staying at Xbox by the end of the next generation. He will be leaving that fucking company. He's been there for 30 to 35 years. And by the time next generation ends, he would have stayed there for roughly around the same amount of time as what Andrew House, Kaz, Sean, Jack Trenton, so on and so forth, right? It's just history. And Reggie is also a part of that as well. Reggie was around for so long and he's left. It's just fundamentals of what would actually fundamentally happen with Xbox. And Xbox fans don't think that's going to happen. You're batshit crazy. You think that guy's going to stay with you guys for that period.
Adam, I want you to continue to talk to us and the wall.
No, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have to get out of here myself.
Yeah, I gotta be out.
So, look, I want to thank everybody for showing up for the PlayStation Legion Sunday show and all the people that showed up yesterday for the podcast. Gaming news never stops, and when it does stop, you will see gameplay on this channel. You guys already know that. Gaming is what gives us information to report on. So if we're not playing games, there's no point in us reporting on news. And the people that only report on news and don't play games, you probably should not listen to them because they don't know shit about gaming.
No, I don't, JTech. I took that advice a long
It's
time.
really important that you listen to motherfuckers.
I saw Almighty Rated D the same shit. Like I just saw that. Like I don't believe fucking. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but I don't believe these fucking frauds. I just don't. Like, I don't believe these RDX, any of the guys that are part of RDX. I do not believe a fucking word that comes out of their mouth. I do not believe anybody on Twitter, including like Tiddix and Foxy UK and all these other people. Because again, that's what they are making, they're getting views off their videos, including MBG. They thrive off of this shit. But when these consoles finally get released, and they can't talk about this hardware because it's now being confirmed, I want to know what's going to happen. Like, what are they going to talk about? Like,
yeah, he's been going off on them rumors and speculation, and I don't know. He's been getting a little bit of a pushback for that shit actually, but he was just pretty much saying,
see,
like,
if you want my advice when it comes to a channel that will actually fucking tell it to you fucking straight, because I actually play shit on Xbox and on fucking PlayStation, come to my channel, dude. Actually, you know what? Don't do that. Because I don't want the attention. Never mind. I retract that statement.
Adam and Sam. Sam, are you still here?
He's muted, but he's might be around.
Rated D, is this your original channel? Because I see it started in 2010, but you only got 3 subs. Did you restart
I don't believe in Crap Gamer. I want to I'm going to go onto his track. I'm not seeing Crap Gamer.
No, I know. I'm going on his channel right now, dude. I'm pretty sure that it is the original Rated D, because if it is, massive shout out to Rated D, man, because that motherfucker back when I was on my old channel, he was the man, dude. He wasn't afraid to step and fucking talk shit about people that expose them to frauds and stuff.
I want Rated D to be
shout out to you there, Almighty D, buddy.
Whenever you got time, man, we got to make some arrangements for us to do a nice podcast together. Me, you, Adam, and Sam. Anybody else during the week that's free. But
I'm
look.
here.
We have whenever it goes down, I'll make sure you know. We have posted in a private PlayStation Legion Discord. But look, we got this week. It's Valentine's week, right? It's Valentine's Day week. You also have Sonic coming out on Valentine's Day. Yes, I have my ticket. I will be watching the movie. I will have a soft review.
Let me know how that is, Jay.
Yes, I will
Let
have
me know
a
how
soft
that is,
review.
buddy.
Rated D, I do not believe in
Dreams.
They can suck my ball bag.
Dreams comes out this week. It's a pretty big week. You got Valentine's Day. You got Dreams and Sonic all dropping on the same day.
And Snack World.
And Snack World. You also have Snack World. So after this week, we're halfway through.
Snowbody, I'm glad that you told me about that game. sorry, JayTech. I apologize, buddy.
Yeah, I want to talk to Rated D actually.
Yo, who has Zombie Army Trilogy 4 though?
Huh?
Not
Who
me,
has
but I will be
Zombie
getting.
Army?
I'm copping that soon, though.
All right, whoever guessed that, we gotta play together for real.
I know
Right,
that
right, for sure, for real.
I'm picking up. I already pre-ordered Doom Eternal. I put $10 down on the standard edition.
Man, you've been so adamant about that Doom game, bro. Shit.
I'm getting back on there this week. I didn't have a lot of time.
I'm glad that you are, man. I'm glad that you are, homie.
Yo, wait, let me ask you, how short is the 2016 Doom? How short is it, or how long is it?
It's not short. It's pretty long.
It's pretty lengthy. Yeah,
it's pretty lengthy, man.
Because I was thinking about playing that game next, but if it's
I will definitely. I think you can beat that game before the new game comes out.
You can do it in a day.
Yeah. You can beat it in a day. It's just taking me forever because that's just what I do.
It depends on how you play. Like, if you want to get all like the collectibles in the game, like obviously that stretches it. No. It's like it's like getting upgrades for your suit, your guns, Easter eggs, stuff like that. Like it's all these different things. Again, Doom 2016 was one of my favorite fucking shooters in 2016, and like again, one of my favorite shooters this gen right now until maybe Eternal comes out, and that'll probably like debunk it.
Bro, you know what game I've been playing for over a month? Yeah, he's like, I love Doom.
I told Jay to play this game. He was like, "Oh shit, that's my backlog." He started playing it. He's enjoying it. There's Yellow started playing it. He's loved it. Like that. Like I understand why that game slipped past a lot of people because it was in 2016. There was quite a few titles that came out that year. But like, yeah, if you haven't played Doom, definitely pick it up and play it. Like it's you know I grew up with arcade shooters like Quake 3, Unreal Tournament.
Unreal Tournament, yep. I played the shit out of
Unreal Tournament is fucking life, bro, when it comes to competition for me, dude.
When Epic Games came out and said that they cancelled the development for the new Unreal Tournament game because of fucking
I was so pissed. Dude, you and me both, brother, man. You and me both. I was so fucking ticked off when they made that announcement, dude. I'm like, are you dumb?
Why would they do that?
You fucking stupid.
That game was good.
Because they're fucking retarded.
They have to be. Why would they do that? It makes no damn sense. I'm actually mad.
Twitch Shooters needs a fucking rivalry comeback, dude. Quake Champions is pretty much basically that game right now. But yo, Twitch Shooters, man, was life for me on the PC days back when I was growing up, dude, man.
That's what I used to play on the PC. I just played the OG Unreal Tournament, then I did like 2003, then 2004.
Headshot.
Like, dude, yeah, bro.
Unreal Tournament was so good, dude.
It was.
What's it? I'm gonna play on BioLab, and I always used to go for the Redeemer. Always get the Redeemer.
Bro, you're bringing back memories, dude. Stop
I would get destroyed in that game. I love the game, but I would get destroyed, bro.
Wait, yeah. I was gonna say there, JayTech. Why did you unmod fucking Rated D?
I didn't know if that was a real one because your game we've been having.
All I have to do is just ask him. I mean, if you don't know if it's a real one, just get him to make a video.
He said he restarted.
I checked his.
Yeah, he rebooted his fucking channel, man.
You rebooted the whole channel?
Shit. Waited in a long time, though, man. Like,
yo, Rated D. Just to clarify that it is actually you, bro.
Him. I checked his date. It's really him. I just didn't know he rebooted his whole channel.
Yeah. Then remake him a mod, dude, man. Fuck him. Like, Rated D is the man, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yo, I just told him on Discord. I think he's funny as shit, bro. To like pick his mind about.
He's funny as fuck, dude, man.
Yeah,
I met him through One Stop shit back in the day, dude.
Part of our chat rooms like years ago but that's when I first came into like when I actually first met Jay and Sam and Somatic, all these lot, right? I met Rated D a few times. He's a great guy, man.
But he is, dude. Like I said, I'm glad that he's not afraid to fucking speak his mind about people, man. That's one reason why I respect the fuck out of fucking Almighty Rated D.
Bro. You don't want people holding their fucking tongues, man. That's
no. And he ain't afraid to do that shit. Me personally, like I usually keep that shit to myself, but the way I've been seeing this Xbox community, man, because like it makes me feel bad for owning one. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, JayTech. You should already feel bad for owning one already from the get go.
I didn't say that.
Fair enough. No. I'm just saying. I'm putting words out. I apologize,
but we have gamers like that in every community. Nintendo, Xbox,
True.
PlayStation, especially fucking PC.
Oh, and for the record, JayTech, I'll confess my sin right here, right now. I'll be truthfully honest before we get out of here. You know where my true heart fucking actually lies?
Where?
It's not with Microsoft, and it sure the fuck ain't with Sony, man. It's with the Big N, bro. I love that company way too much.
Bro, look,
I'm
that's
sorry.
where I got started, man. I tell people that all the time. I
Yeah.
don't know why people don't believe me, man. It was Nintendo.
I keep my fandom for Nintendo on the low because of how the community behaves.
Bro, I keep
like,
my
you can call me a
fandom.
bot. All that crazy shit. You can call me a bot. You can call me a pony. You can call me a secret PC underground motherfucker. That's fine. But my heart is with fucking with Nintendo, man. I love Nintendo so much.
Yo, you know what game I've been playing has been kicking my ass like crazy? I think JayTech knows Sekiro. That fucking game, man.
Yeah. Oh, bro, dude, don't even get me started on that.
I'm
game,
on the
dude,
last boss.
I pissed a lot of people off with that game, dude. I pissed a lot of people off because I beat that game so fast. People were like, "How the fuck did he go through that game so fast?"
How'd you beat it? Wait, how long did it take you to beat it?
Not that long, like maybe like a day and a half, dude. I beat it like fucking 4 times. I beat it 4 times back to back.
That's fucking bullshit,
dude. Yo,
Pinnacle.
I pissed a lot of people off with Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Dude.
I've been playing that game for a month.
Pinnacle.
This
is one thing you have to remember. This is a guy who has platinumed Death Stranding.
Oh my
yes,
God.
Sir. 138 hours, JayTech. JayTech, 138 hours.
You 100? I played 177 hours. I didn't platinum it. I wasn't even going for
dude. I played the fuck out of fucking Death Stranding, and I regret every minute of doing it.
Oh God.
How many hours did you have to put before you got plaques? For me, I got 92. I got to 92 hours, I think it was, or 98 or 92. I forgot what it was. I got the plat. I need to go back.
I might go
that's
back
the thing
on that
about
myself. I might.
Death Stranding is it's I don't know, man. Like I have a love-hate relationship with that game. Like
me too.
You know what I mean? I really wanted fucking Kojima to really shine with this game, and like he did with the story, but he didn't do it with me with the gameplay, dude. It's a real fucking shame, dude.
That's how I feel with Sekiro. I don't know how the fuck you beat that game in a day. That's ridiculous. That's how I feel. I hate this game and like this game at the same time. Shit doesn't make sense.
Nah, dude. I've gotten really good at playing fucking Souls type kind of games.
Yeah, but
Sekiro
I can't.
was a huge game for me.
I got a malfunction, bro. I got a malfunction, bro. I don't understand this. I've been playing this game for a month. I've been playing this game for a month.
Hey, but on the bright side, though, at least you're not bitching about putting it in easy mode, bro. So I give you fucking mad respects to that.
Yeah, I just left it. I'm on the last boss. All right, well, spoiler alert. But you know when you gotta kill Genichiro, whatever his name is, Genichiro, and then after you kill him, the guy from inside of him comes out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I almost killed him though. I think it was like I've only been trying to kill him for like 2 days.
Well, you know that giant fucking that first boss you first encounter there, the big tall ass giant motherfucker.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, when I did my first live stream, everybody was like, "Oh man, I can't wait till he gets to that guy. I can't wait." I beat him on my first fucking attempt.
Oh my God. Wait, is it the red eye guy?
Sick was not happy with me that day.
Oh, Sick wasn't happy. Wait, Sick played that shit? You never told me that. Damn.
Yo, he platted. Sick humor platted. I didn't plat it though. I didn't plat it, man, because I didn't care about the plat. I just went through and I beat it like fucking 4 times.
Oh, he told me he played it, but he never told me he platted it. That's a big difference.
Yeah, no, he platted, man. I'm pretty sure he did.
That game's a pain in the ass.
But anyways, yeah, sorry, JayTech, man. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
okay,
my bad.
guys. We will see you when we see you. If there's something major breaking this week, we'll do a podcast. Other than that, I might release like 2 or 3 videos. I do know I might do a podcast for Dreams. If I don't do one, it'll be a video of Dreams for Tuesday. Early access users, you get Dreams on Tuesday. Everybody else that's paying $40 for the game, physical and digital, you get to play the game on Valentine's Day this Friday. But we all, I believe, have a 3-day weekend because President's Day is the following Monday. So that should be nice.
Nope, I work.
Oh, well, I don't. So I'm
Damn,
happy about that.
I gotta connect you to JayTech after this. Don't hop out as soon as you end the stream because I gotta tell you something. Yeah.
Okay, guys. See you later.